Okay, now we have it. It should be working. So Mr. Milton has rearranged my sound. Oh, okay, why is it not working? Oh, come on. I know you can hear me. Why am I not? There. Now we have it. It should be working. So Mr. Milton has rearranged my sound. All right. Now let me try the other scene because once one goes. Okay, now we have it. Hopefully the audio is not overdriven. And as you know, one of our other carnivore friends is talking. You can see over here, our friend Dan. We're trying to get more people into his channel. He's talking to this guy James, which I actually met at the, I think it was, it wasn't Hack, it might have been Hack Your Health. No, I think it was at the Kilts meetup, because I do remember talking to him there. And I guess he was in Miami at one time, or he is now. I'm not sure. But no one in Miami has ever reached out to me. I think that I tend to scare people away. But we'll see. Let's see. Bear with me while I fix this problem. Okay, that should be good. So let me make sure these are all good. Okay, bear with me while I fix this problem. There we are. And let's try the webcam. All right, now this thing is the wrong one, so we'll change this to that one. All right. Okay, that should be good. So let me make sure these are all good. All right, that's a little too high. Okay, so I think we have finally got it working. There we are. All right. Now let me get to the comments. Get here. Okay, so I think we have finally got it working. All right, that's great. Now let me go ahead and double check. Oh. Oh no, what am I doing here? Now let me get to the comments. That's weird. Here we are. All right, so let's start off with the very first comment. And let me turn this sound off so I don't distract myself. All right, that's great. Now let me go ahead. Okay. And let me scroll down to the bottom of the comments. So let's see. Okay. Much better, Rick. Yes. Okay, good. So we are ready to go. All right, now let me hit the comments. We don't want these to get behind. So Mannix Gaming is the first comment. I don't know if the others were deleted. I didn't check. I put this live stream up last night, right before I went to bed. And let me see. I think I put this upside down. That's why it doesn't feel right. All right, so new thumbnail. Well, we can thank one of our people here in the chat that sent me another one. He did it last week during the live stream. So I went ahead and I put that up today, and we will know exactly who that is quite soon. And Liz likes the new thumbnail. All right, well, we're going to be able to thank the person that made it. Lady June 1 says good morning. And here's the person who made it, who says that he's present. So Jonathan made a thumbnail. Love the new thumbnail. That's cool. Yes. And that is correct. And there's Mike Seeley Sr., I believe. No, Mike Seeley Jr. Greetings from Tampa Bay. Well, greetings. Glad to have you here as always, which is good. Juliet is also here. I love the TN with Live with Rick at Milton. Yeah, that's right. Well, good morning, Quackers. Good morning. Glad you're here. And I mentioned put a link to Dan's channel so you had something to watch. Now, back when nobody else had lives at this time, I would always put a series of images and maybe some old music just to keep you company. But now we have other channels you can watch. Now, he's still doing his thing. But again, I start at 8, so it's all fair game. You have your choice of what you wish to watch. Good morning. See you soon. Yes. And we have a hello to Juliet and Jonathan and Sandy Blythe. Good morning. And Brian Dish is here. Good morning, Sir Quack and Jonathan, Michael, Juliet, Sandy, and all quacks. And I mentioned what I was doing. Barry Simon, the AI master of our chat. Good morning, Milton, the kitten caboodle, and all. Yes, and they're out there by the front door now. They have moved from living under the bobcat to living right at my front door, which means every time I step out the door, I got to look out for cute little kittens. I think they're trying to send me a hint. I think that they want to come in the house, and they will be. I'm working my way there. I don't want to have a Milton tragedy with the kittens, but I think Milton will get along just fine with Miss Kitty. And hopefully very soon, the kittens will start eating regular food, which means they won't be milking Miss Kitty anymore. And once I become friends with the kittens, then we're going to try to get Miss Kitty to the cat rescue place, the Cat Network or whatever it is, to get her fixed. And we can keep her. So there's a lot going on with the kitties. I've just been a little bit on the busy side, but the kittens are doing okay. Even the black and white kitten, that some people call the Holstein or the Oreo, the one leg is working quite well. The other one, it has its moments, but that kitten is not getting any worse, so that's good. And there is Father of United Carnivore, Mike Seeley Sr. Good morning, Rick Milton, the kittens, and everyone from beautiful morning in Melbourne, Florida. And I see you had a good day with Mitch, having a cigar and probably something good to eat. Hope the kittens are doing well. Yes, they are. I will be sending you some videos of the kittens. Good morning, Rick and everyone. And good morning from Bacon Runner. Good morning, Yellow Rose 803 and Robbie Autry. And I think you might be the first one. Let's see who was the first. Yes, Robbie Autry dropped in at 8. It was the master of the clock. Good morning, Rick Milton, Miss Kitty, and all her kittens and you quackers. Well, good morning. Christy is also here. Good morning, Rick Milton and chat friends. And if you don't know, we had a pretty good live going on. Hopefully you did see it. And here's Gary, another cat man. Good morning, Mike, from a beautiful day in Raleigh, North Carolina. And creamy coffee sounds good. Just had mine with butter, Bride's biscuit. Good morning, Rick, sup fam, and carnival diet. Don't think I've ever seen, maybe I have. Good morning, everyone. I don't know your name, but I know you're here. Howdy, all the quackers out there from Gary. And, of course, there was no sound. And, by the way, I take my example from one of our wonderful regulars. We had someone that did not have sound. And Liz can't hear me. Yes, silent quacking. Yes, no sound. All right. Now, the reason that happens is because sometimes Milton, he loves to play with the cords, and he pulls out the cord, and for some reason, and I don't know what it is, even if you just pull it out when OBS is not running, when you start OBS, the little adapter, which is a little $9 thing I put in there, it got pulled out, but I have to double check. So starting off like Mitch yesterday, yes, I think great minds work together. Yes, and the sound is there. This is the reason why I always use a mobile device. I have this tablet that my friend gave me, and I use a phone or whatever I have, and I always check it. Now, I have a VU meter on my mixer that moves, so I know that works. But there's also a slider that comes up on OBS, and that was not there. So I thought, you know what? Let me double check. So that's the technique I use. We're pretty backwards here. And I don't have assistants. I'm a one-man show like Mitch. So that's one of those things that happens. And the comments are coming in strong. Actually, a bit stronger than usual. So Robbie Audrey, good morning to Aaron. I hear you very low, though. Lost sound when you move views. Yes, that is a function of the OBS. Each scene has its own audio. Audio doesn't sound right. Well, that's because it picked the microphone on the webcam, which is terrible. And all you hear is the air conditioner. Much louder. Please stand by. Yes. And let's see. And Robbie Autry says at that time, it was much better. Okay. Good morning. Yes, it is. So we're asking questions about coffee and butter. And Gary, 2 families of Canadian geese visited my backyard yesterday. I think they heard Rick was going live. Well, roast goose can be really nice. And Mitch agrees. Audio problems seem to be the thing this week. LOL, good morning, Rick. Good morning, Mitch. I'm glad that you're here. See, we have the world's best, and I mean the best subscribers on my channel. For a guy that only has a little over 4,000 subscribers, we have amazing participation. I see channels with 6-figure subscriber counts that don't have this much participation. And Christy's giving some advice about butter in the coffee. There you go. For those of you that drink coffee, which I think most people do, that can be very helpful. Agree, the new thumbnail is awesome. Well, again, let's talk about who did it, and that is Jonathan Griffiths, who, by the way, is going to be going live with our friend Dan, who's an underrated small channel, and they're going to have a live. So normally I would recommend everyone to go to Jerry's live at 1 Eastern, but today I would recommend that you go to Jonathan's. I will even put a link to it because Jonathan is definitely, I would say, one of the founding members of the carnivore community, the real community, not the fake ones like SPG, but the actual HAD community, the heart attack diet community, which was started by me. And all the long-term carnivores, 5 years or more, of which Jonathan is one of them. And Jonathan is the original carnivore bodybuilder on YouTube. So again, if you can see him, that's great. And speaking of excellent carnivore founders, here we have John, Carnivore Teacher Alpha, saying hello to Rick. And I say hello. We've been on many live streams together. And if you don't know, he has a live stream, although I didn't catch it last week, that is on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is the Carnivore Sunday School, which is also containing our friend Juliet, who I consider to be Milton's best friend because of all the wonderful things that she's done for Milton and for me. So again, I am very happy to recommend. Uh-oh. Milton's making some funny sounds. I think he sees Miss Kitty. Milton. He makes the cutest little sounds, that cat. Love that little cat. Hey, Mitch, what you smoking this morning? Well, there we go. And we have a hello. And Christy and John used to sing together, so we all kind of know each other, and that's a good thing. So, where are you? Hi, Christy and Juliet from John. And that's good. I have a milk frother. We'll use it tomorrow with butter. And also, our great Floridians, we have Chuck, Supertune, who, by the way, sent me a couple of gifts during the week, which I will show you. One of them is a stereo for my vehicle, and the other one is a CB radio, brand new in the box, and I'm very happy with it. It fits the style exactly. I think that one's going to go in my pickup truck once I get the truck running, because my old CB, it went kaput, and I do like having my CB in the truck. How you like it? Switched from cream about 3 weeks ago. And Mitch says, good morning, Gary, and he says he's smoking El Rey. Is that the El Rey Del Mundo cigars you like? Meeting Wellness. Good morning, UK. How about you? Good morning to Mitch. And speaking of other great carnivore personalities, we have Peter, Papa Carnivore, otherwise known as Pretzel Pete, or as I call him, No Pretzel Pete, because when he eats pretzels, they get him pretty badly. And you can see when the 2 pretzels were chasing him in the AI-generated video with their teeth sticking out. That was pretty funny. Okay, so we have hi, Peter. Yes, on the PC, the comments are covering. That is true, but most people listen. They don't want to see my face. They'd rather see the comments. But I do switch views every now and then if you like looking at me, which I don't think a lot of people do, but hey, maybe they do. I don't know. And we have a good morning from Manix Gaming in Philippines. And we have more good mornings. And we have even more participation going on. And I am falling way behind. A new name for you in email from Barry Simon. That's what you get for hiring a cat as your sound engineer. Yes, my little Milton is a very wild and very active animal. He thinks he's a kitten, but he's a 13-pound beast. He's lean, but he's really dense. And this cat, if you've ever had to wrestle with him, which you've probably seen me do more than once, he is something else. But it's like every cat I've ever had. And I'm sure whatever those kittens I keep are going to be another Milton. You should hear the sounds he's making. He is so cute. I love that cat. He goes, meow, meow. It's the cutest thing. My first black cat used to make the same sounds. He would run and go, so I used to call him El Toro because he was like a bull and he'd hit your leg. Milton is a grabber. He grabs your leg with his paws. He usually doesn't put the claws out, but sometimes he does. But he's actually a pretty nice kitty. The aggressive, vicious part of him went out when he got fixed, but he's still very, very lively. We have a good morning. I am in Plymouth from Yellow Rose. Did I spell your name correctly? Okay. You smoking that cigar this morning for Robbie Autry? Amanda, the carnivore. Yes, I guess you've changed your name, but I know who you are. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, everyone from Merrill, Wisconsin. Good morning. I am glad that you are here. And from my BB and E, good morning. Good morning. Another great subscriber. Got it. I'll remember. Glad that I asked. Christy, yes. El Rey is Mitch's favorite cigar. Yes. I kind of remember that. All right, so let's see. And I see that Dan's live has finished, so maybe he'll be popping in here. Of course, yes. Topped. All right, so what do we have here? Hi, Christy and Rose. SBG turned into a 90s late night infomercial. Yes, and as you know, I am highly critical of SBG. I'm not criticizing the Bella Lady, but I am very critical of that group. Very much so. And as you know, I am not opposed to people earning income from the products and services. I support that 100%. Anyone that gives one-on-one time to someone, whether they provide a physical product or whether they provide advice, advice can be really, really valuable. When you have a business and you have a technical issue and everything is shut down, you're going to pay for that advice to get up and running. I can't access my files. I'm not able to get phone calls. You call the tech, you pay the money, and you're happy. But when you have a group of people and you say, you have to pay money to join my group, then you have crossed the line. You have become a gatekeeper, and you have become someone that I will criticize constantly. Now, on the other hand, maybe you have a special group, and then you have an open group to everyone. That's fine. Again, to build the community, you have to have an open door policy. But if you want to get the additional benefits of the community, then you can ask for some type of compensation because nothing is free. Our time is not free. But to get people in, that's when we need to have, and it's even good marketing. If you really want your product to be popular, you need to offer the free option. So if you want to look at someone who's good at marketing, well, check out Dr. Kiltz. You can see the way that he has his free group. Then he has paid services. He's not starving. He's doing quite well. Hello, Milton. You want to join in? Come on. Come on, Milton. There we go. There's my Milton. Look at this pretty cat. There we are. Look at that. There's Milton. Meow. What a cutie. I love my Milton. He's a sweetie. There are too many ways to spell my name. I'm not picky. Well, there you go. And I better double check on my pork to make sure it's not burning. All right. Hellos from my friends. Morning. Hello back. Well, there we go. Let me just take a slight break. I will return. But let me go ahead and let's see. Let's have a commercial break.
This is the coffee pot at work. Listen to it perk. Look at the coffee as it gets darker and stronger. Smell the honest coffee smell. Ah, smell it. But will this cup of coffee taste as good as it smells? You bet it will, because it's Maxwell House, The coffee that tastes as good as it smells every time. Maxwell House coffee tastes as good as it smells every time. If you like to look at good coffee, listen to good coffee, smell good coffee, and taste good coffee, brew Maxwell House, the coffee that tastes as good as it smells every time. Maxwell House is good to the last drop. It tastes as good.
Okay, there we go. All right. Sorry about that. It was my fault this time. I forgot to flip the switch. I have a little switch on the microphone, and I turn it off when I'm playing a video, and I got to remember, turn it on, watch the VU meter, Rick. You don't have an audio engineer. Everything's on you. All right, so let me go back over here to the comments, and let's continue now that I didn't burn my food. So let's see. All right, so we have... Get Pete. There we go. Yes. And we have a hello to Peter from Chuck. And we have hey from John. Don't forget to hit the like. Yes. Visited Torquay a few times. Oh, okay. Up. Let's see. Chuck has a comment here, and I'm way behind again. We'll get it. I'm going on a trip to Smoky Mountains and ride my old vintage 76 RD 400 Yamaha two-stroke. We all have, there you go. We have an all-week meet there. Awesome. And Coach Angela Mullen says, good morning, Rick. Good to see you again. Saw your last interview. Interesting. How long have you been animal-based? Danny and Boss, good morning, Rick. And all from Boston. Well, good morning. And speaking of carnivore up-and-coming celebrities, we have Kelly, the Missouri carnivore. Good morning, Rick and everyone. Well, good morning. And I hope that you're having a good day so far. Coach Angela Mullins, to good morning. I got myself together early this morning and ran to breakfast. Good morning, John. Had 5 eggs fried in lots of butter and some cubed ham steak fried in the butter. 2 years next month. How about you? Good morning to Peter. You send me your address. I have something to send you. All right. Hey, Kelly. And he has his address right there. So now we know where to send the pretzels to. That's right. Okay. Good morning, all. I am out walking Ted. Oh, nice. Hello, Meow Meow Milton. Yes. And we have a good morning to John. Charger Coffee. Good Saturday morning, Rick and friends. Good Saturday morning from Rick. My percolator is making my coffee while I'm out walking. Well, I'm glad people still use those things. Going to make some heart attack chicken drumsticks for dinner. Yes, that's what I had last night. The problem is I ate it after 8 p.m. and I woke up at 2:30 in the morning sweating a lot, which is what happens to me when I eat too late. I tend to eat a lot of food, and my body works like a younger person. A lot of older people, when they eat more, I think they put on weight. My body just shifts into overdrive. It's like, let's use up that energy. So it wakes me up at 2:30 in the morning, sweating. And if I turn the air conditioner down to 65, I'll stop sweating, but my nose will dry out and I'll get a sinus headache in the morning. So I keep it at 68, and then I just have to deal with it. What else can I do? The thing is, Rick, don't eat after 6 and you'll be fine. If I eat after 6, what I really need to do is to eat a ground beef with eggs. But ground beef is very expensive, so we limit that to a couple of pounds a week. And, well, I had heart attack chicken. I had a little bit of chicken. I didn't want it to go bad, and that's what happened. Rick is disorderly. It happens. Okay, let's see. Oh, why am I skipping these comments? Happy Catterday to you. Here for the quack of it. Well, that's good. People talk about being a quack, that they feel bad that people think they're a quack. And I say, look, I celebrate being a quack. It's part of the personality. That's it. All right. Back in the day, I used to buy Maxwell House all the time. Yeah. What the heck is in that bowl? It looked like brain. That's actually pork. It's a pork butt that is for sale, 99 cents a pound. Here it is. It's fatty. It's got a lot of connective stuff in it, so it's just like Rick likes it. Cheap and tasty. It would be nice to see your face when you read the comments. I could try to move it, but I have some issues there. I really got a kick out of your Dr. Saiva's reaction video. Yes, I saw Liz made that. That's pretty interesting. Okay, that's nice. 19 months for me. Been a vegan for 13 years. Oh, nice. I'm going to go ahead and try to lower this a little bit. Let me see. No, it won't work. Let me go to... Okay. How about that? We'll lower this down a little bit. We may lose some comments, but you should be able to still see my face. Where's my other charger emblem? It must have fallen off. Milton is probably at it again. And why do I hear a rumbling outside? They got that generator? Let me see here. I don't know. Somebody's running some kind of engine. I'll be glad when I'm living in the country and I don't have to listen to all the distractions that we have outdoors. Now, where is my charger emblem? There it is. I knew Milton messed around with it, so we'll put this back over here. Milton's got to stop playing. Oh, maybe that thing doesn't hold that well. That might be the problem. Let's see if we can get this in here. I know a lot of people, they love their virtual backgrounds, but I have to admit, one of the things I hate the most is a virtual background. It just seems to me kind of silly. I see this a lot in these financial channels where these people have lots of money and yet they're streaming from some cheap place and they don't have the money to put up a background. I mean, at the very least, you could put a hanging background. But I know virtual backgrounds are very popular. But hey, on my channel, we use the real background. That way we can adjust it easily. And I don't know what's going on here. I think this whole couch has been moved. Let me see. Nope. It's in place. I don't know what's going on here, but we'll just... Oh, well. We might have to put something in there to try to prop it up. Let's see what I have. Oh, I know what I can do. All right. We'll just take the extra phone. We'll just stick it in here like that. Maybe like this. And then we'll just put the pillow in here. There we go. That's a little bit better. We'll just stick a rotary phone in there, and because the problem is Milton, he likes to climb back in there sometimes, and he can really disrupt things pretty well. Plus, with the pillows there, it also acts as an acoustical barrier. One of the things that I also dislike is when you listen to one of these live streams and you have that audio in the background. And I have to admit, I'm kind of like Mitch because I do like to pay attention to details, even though my live stream is all about the poor guy trying to make things work. I like to try to make adjustments to it, and that's just my way of doing things. All right, let's get back to the comments. And we have, okay, surprise for Peter. Where have you been? I missed you. And let's see. Okay, we're going to get caught up here. Looking forward to it. I haven't gotten a gift in a long time. Well, I'm glad that you're getting one. I appreciate the gifts that I've gotten. They've been super awesome. Good morning, Angela. And let's see. Who else do we have? Oh, my goodness. It's getting really a little bit out of there. Okay. I have been out of sync. I'm not the only one. And we have a good morning to Milton with the little symbols there trying to make a cat face. We can see you got the whiskers and the cat eyes. And Milton has gone, I think, to my bedroom to fall asleep. So that's good. And we have one for DS111. I can't eat late eater. No, for me, it's not good. And the thing is, I've had this problem my whole life. If I eat too late, and you know I love to eat a lot of food, I will sweat like crazy. Now, if I eat a lot of food and I go out and work, that's fine. And if I don't eat enough, my energy level goes, and it's not even that I don't have energy, because it's a really weird thing. If I don't eat enough food, I can work and work and work, and I have plenty of energy. But as soon as I sit down and try to relax, I just fall asleep. I will just be out of it as soon as I'm not doing anything. So let's say that I have to go to some kind of seminar or some type of group, and I got to sit there and listen to somebody. It's like going to church. You go to church, you fall asleep. Well, it's the same thing. Now, if I eat, for example, I eat a good breakfast, I'm going to stay awake all the way to lunch. I eat a good lunch. I stay awake even if I sit down. But if I was to skip breakfast by 10 o'clock, I just fall asleep. I'm out of it. So, and I'm not sure why that is, because all these people are always talking about fasting and blah, 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 this and that. It doesn't work for me. And you got to remember, my life is an active one. I move objects like I was removing a couple of bearing races. I had to move the welder. The welder, which is a Lincoln welder, that thing has got to weigh, I don't know what a Lincoln welder weighs, 70, 80 pounds. And it's kind of bulky and hard to handle. And my house is cluttered. So I have to go picking this thing up, carrying it through the house, taking it outside, plugging it in, and then put it away. Sometimes I use my Sears buzz box instead. But it's heavy. And I'm constantly like acetylene tanks and oxygen tanks, and I lift these things up and I move them around. Just to get a little job done, I have to do a lot of activity. But some people don't do that at all. Some people sit at a desk all day. When most people work from home, that means they pull out their computer and they start typing. When I work from home, that means lifting heavy objects, cutting, drilling, cleaning, pressure washing, sandblasting, all these things that are going on, getting into tight spaces, climbing over things. So when I work at home, it's a workout. It's been a long time since I've had the privilege of working from a computer at home. I don't get those kind of jobs. I guess because I'm just a dummy and I have to do all the stuff there. Seeing the coffee commercial remind me of some cowboy coffee with my stove coffee pot. Yes, that is true. Tell them something, anything. And Peter says, I used to watch Dr. Saiva's when I started Keto and Carnivore, but he's become unwatchable. Yes, he's an arrogant egomaniacal. That. Hold on. Egomaniacal. A real know-it-all is pushing GLPs and adding carbs, says they are essential. I've seen that, and I think he's full of BS, but that's just my opinion. No sound. Okay, back. Yeah, that's what happens when I make a couple of adjustments. I am fine just missing out on some of the lives coincidentally. Okay, we have a hello to Chuck. Glad you're okay. All my 55. Yes. Oh, 55 viewers. How many viewers do I have now? Let me double check. I have 56. Awesome. I always have fun reacting to him. Low-hanging fruit. Yeah, we're talking about Dr. Saiva's. And the thing is, he does seem to be a little on the fat side, so I don't know. Having some roast duck lately? Ah, there we go. Duck. Okay. Other day, a local hardware store employee hastily walked by, asked me if I was okay, meaning did I need help. I said, no, I said I'm not okay. We got the humor going here. Pork butt is on sale here for $1.69 this week. It's 99 cents at Winn-Dixie if you have one. You should get a Charger tattoo. Well, I don't do tattoos because I'm like the modern version of the Amish. But, I have Charger emblems all over the place, and one day you'll see me driving my 69 Chargers. So, Charger is part of my life. I laugh the entire time. He's so funny. That's a good way of putting it. Your pork looks good. I'm making baby back ribs for the family gathering today. You gotta love pork. It's a cheap meat. It's got a lot of fat, and it's absolutely delicious. And now I'm getting hungry again. I had my eggs, but I haven't had my meat. As you know, my breakfast consists of 6 eggs, and this is how much meat I eat with my breakfast. It's about a pound of meat. Now, in the carnivore community, I'm the oddball because I eat a lot. Anyone that has seen me at an event knows that I'm a big eater. I love pork. Hang around long enough and you will see the same clips by me. Okay. Kelly says he'll be live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. That's good. I know you've had to take weeks off, but you are back. I hope I will be alive tomorrow at 3 p.m. Yes. All right. Let's see. Okay. Rick, the interior designer. Yes, although my interior designs are probably not popular. I know everybody's on the minimalist trip, but you know what? I absolutely hate minimalism. I think it is the biggest scam they've ever come up with. A bunch of drywall, everything black, white, and gray. That's not my way of doing it. And if you build an industrial space, putting a ceiling in your office building isn't that expensive. And if you do it right, it'll look better and it'll be quieter. And hey, Publix, stop building Home Depots. We already have Home Depot and Lowe's. We don't need a Home Depot for food. You charge more money than anyone, and you're too cheap to make a place that looks as good as the one you replaced. That's one of the reasons I hate Publix. Rip-off. Speaking of pork, I got some pulled pork in the fridge. Need to eat that up. We'll see what's for lunch or dinner. Yes, I had a live last night, which was a huge success. I showed my biceps, triceps. You had a live? Really? Okay. How did I miss that? Oh, well. Anyway, so Smoothie 420 is good morning to all of our friends here. Well, a few of them. I'm honored to have been to Rick's house. It's like a cross between a 1950s general store and a junkyard, but with a wonderful garden like a tropical jungle. Yes, that's my place. It's like Sanford and Son meets, I don't know, what's that show they used to have where they had the store? I forget. I can hear that Sanford and Son theme every time I drive up to my home. Yes, great live last night. I will be live tomorrow. Yes. And we have a hello to John. Today was the day, Rick. You will hit 100 in the chat at the same time. Well, I hope so. I hope so, because I have 61 right now, it looks like. I'd be nice to hit 100. And a classic 1950s house. Yes, that's my place. And the funny thing is, when I move, even if I build a new house, it's still going to be a classic 1950s house. Because I'm not changing my style. I found what I like. I think everyone should go with the style they like. If you like black, white, and gray, good for you. But don't force it on everybody else. Don't be a house flipper and ruin everything. Because if I ever have to buy one of those formerly flipped houses, I may end up having to take an excavator to it, tear it down, and start over. Because these people ruined everything. Rick, that's the exact same thing happens to me. Agreed. Happy Saturday, Rick, from Corgi Lover. Well, happy Saturday in return from Rick and all the kitty cats. And good morning. If I worked out like you, it would affect my hairstyle. My goal is to have big hair. So I aim for a wiry body like Rick's. That's my excuse. Well, there you go. Thanks, Sandy. I was happy with it. And we have a hello. Donna, you're ripped. There we are. I dress like Dr. Kilts. And let's see. Marla Kelly, good morning all. Well, good morning. Glad you're here. That sounds like the lawn service across the street with the truck that's falling apart. Refugee lawn service. And Jonathan is just on his way back from the gym. Awesome. That's definitely, let's see. Sister-in-law was frying with margarine. It's so rancid to smell. How they're not smelling suffocating. Yeah, I told him about that. I mean, it's like cooking with axle grease. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I made a comment last night. YouTube's deleting a lot of my comments. YouTube is weird. Delete a lot of my comments, too. I don't know why it does that. I don't think I offend anybody. We have a hello to John. Yeah, margarine's nasty. The funny thing is my parents used to use that all the time. Where is John Studd? I'm sure that John Studd will pop in just to try to give everybody a little bit of a aggravation moment. I know, Donna, you were hoping for a visit. Yes. All right. And Bill Cook, love coffee. A lot of people love coffee. I'm a bad example because I can't stand coffee. I think it smells bad, tastes awful, but coffee is important. And the thing is, I don't believe that coffee causes any harm. In fact, I think that coffee is a positive because anything that brings people together, anything that establishes a good routine, coffee does all that. Coffee is one of the reasons why several civilizations, it's one of the things that got the Arab civilization to really make progress, get into mathematics and geography and all these things. I think that bringing people together, even if it is with coffee, it does a good thing. Now, in my opinion, I'd like to bring everybody together over delicious meats. But coffee is quick, it's simple, and it's something that you can have available. And I don't think it hurts your carnivore keto diet at all, because coffee without additives is basically just water with some roasted plant material in it, minimal carbohydrates, and I don't think there's any toxin. If your coffee has mold in it, there may be toxins, but coffee that has been properly roasted and stored doesn't have toxins in it. Caffeine is not really a toxin, and I don't think it's a big deal. And look at how many people in this community drink coffee every day. You got Aaron, you got Mitch. I mean, everybody that drinks coffee, they seem happy. So I approve it. I don't have a problem with coffee. And speaking of great carnivore personalities, we have Two Crazy Ketos. I don't know if this is, there's two of them. You got Joe and Rachel, so it might be Joe, it might be Rachel, but whichever one it is, you're always welcome here. And I love watching your live streams and your videos. I learn a lot from them. They give so much practical advice. It's a great channel to watch. So, and they are carnivore, even though they call them keto. But using the name keto helps to bring everybody together, and I appreciate that. So glad to see you here. And let's see. I thought that Dr. Kiltz might show up for a minute, maybe next time. I don't think he's ever shown up in my live stream either. He's probably really busy. I mean, Dr. Kiltz is in everything and with everyone. He tries his best to get in. I appreciate that. And Yellow Rose 803 says, good morning to Two Crazy Ketos. And Two Crazy Ketos are also friends with Dustin, who I haven't seen, but I'm sure he'll be popping in. I will be working a small condo today for a 40-something mama's girl and her mom. Daughter is very talky. I feel rude when I break away to work. Well, they're always trying to talk to you. I get that too sometimes, but that's okay. What can you do? All right, so let's see. We're catching up. Did you say the YouTube deleted? Okay. 7-day fast, but eggs are cheap. Well, I know people like fasting. I don't. When eating with hands, Rick does, do not wash your hands so you can get more minerals. Well, I wash my hands all the time with my homemade soap. Too funny. I try to leave workers alone when they are at my house so they can do their thing and leave. Trump definitely got egg prices down. I don't think it had anything to do with Trump. Trump's just a puppet. That's all. Morning from Terry Girl, Rick and Chat. Well, good morning. Gas is next. We'll see. I don't care. I haven't had to buy it. Well, I bought gas a couple days ago to put in my lawnmower, but I probably go through 10 gallons of gas a year. And if I ever run out of fuel for my diesel, I'll probably revive my wood gas truck. I don't care about that. That doesn't matter. I just want real estate down. I want property prices to drop as much as possible. The lower my home value goes, the more money I get in my pocket. So if I could get the house down to $50,000, I'd be the happiest person in the world because I would pay zero property tax. I would say, hey, now I can spend money on fixing the place up. The more money I spend on property tax, the less money I put into fixing it up. I just patch it up with a Band-Aid. But if they lowered my taxes, then I would go into full, let's fix the place up mode, starting with a brand new roof. How often do you eat, Rick? 3 times a day. I eat 3 times a day, every day. I don't fast. All right. Happy belated birthday to Donna Ray. Milton must be outside because he would be trying to help you eat your breakfast. Yeah, that's true. I think he's on my bed falling asleep. But yeah, Milton, he could be something. But I did feed him a bunch of meat this morning to get him full. And I noticed that about half an hour or so after he eats, he'll fall asleep. So that's good. There we go. Our beef here is cheaper. I convinced my mom buying it instead of fish and pork. Oh, nice. meets Gilligan's Island. Well, that would be Sanford and Son meets Gilligan's Island. I heard an old Mexican snap at a woman once. Mrs. Please let me do my... There is rocking Coach Amy. Amy Davis has dropped in. Glad to see you here, as always. I see so many great people. And again, 2 great people here. Another great person here. Well, 2 of them, because you also have Doug. I have a beef tongue in my crock pot right now, almost ready to work with. Nice. And we have a hello to Joe and Rachel, which is awesome. I'm glad that they are dropped in here. I'm glad that 2 Crazy Ketos do watch my channel, because us Floridians, we need to stay together, because we're sort of battling against the system that doesn't want us to exist. And we don't want to have conflict in our own community, because that just dulls the message. All right, so we have lots of good mornings. Yes, it's a great place. They're even painting brick remodel houses around here black or gray. Yeah, it's that stupid house flipping crap, all started by the Federal Reserve's central bank easy money nonsense. Now, I have to give Donald Trump credit for something that he did, which I think is great. He has totally turned the oil market upside down and caused inflation to go up. And that's good, because the higher inflation goes, the less likely the Federal Reserve is going to be able to get away with printing trillions of dollars to bail out the system. So hopefully the energy prices will stay high long enough so that the Federal Reserve won't be able to manipulate the market and things will finally start to crash. And that would be the ideal situation. However, they're going to try everything they can to keep the market artificially inflated, but it's up to us to keep ourselves healthy. That's the main thing. Even if you're poor like me, if you can keep yourself healthy and you don't have any debt, then you're actually very rich. Compared to the average American, I may be a lot richer than I think, because I have 0 debt and I don't have any health issues. So in a way, I think that's a good investment. Every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, Rick. Okay. I will have to look, because I know that Grandma Crochet Barbara was on at that time. So my friend 60's house in Kendall has original gray porcelain tub and sink. He grew sugar cane as a hedge. Well, there you go. I have sugar cane in my yard too. My mom still uses her 60-year-old percolator. I have ours somewhere around here. I don't know where it is, but I know I didn't throw it away. $1 of beef here per kilo. No wonder a lot of carnivore people prefer living in Asia. Wow. That is pretty incredible. Hi, Amy. All right. I got my eye on a 77 Warlock locally. No sound. Uh-oh. Okay, so I am pretty far behind. We'll get it. All right. Audio working here. Coffee is my supplement. Yes, that works. Coffee does all that. Yes. That's what we're talking about, coffee, even though I don't drink coffee, but definitely I understand. I understand the community. That's the reason why, although I'm a carnivore, I still grow and share fruit trees with my friends, because the thing is, even though I call seeds duck food, anything made from seeds I call duck food, but I don't consider fruit to be dangerous for most people, especially if you're someone that has a lot of muscle, someone that's active, someone that still eats the good quality meats and the foods, the eggs, things like that. Adding fruit to your diet does not seem to have a bad effect. I've known several people, they even eat stuff like sweet potatoes and even regular potatoes. And I mean, there's guys in their 70s that are in really good shape, very healthy. Of course, they work out all the time. They avoid the packaged foods, and they still eat even crap like rice, which I would never eat. I consider rice to be duck food. Rice, corn, beans, those are things I would never grow and never share, because I consider them to be toxic, in my opinion. Although white rice is eaten by many people around the world, I will not eat it. I will not eat bread. I consider bread to be just for peasants. It's garbage. I will not eat bread. But if you like to eat avocados, which I'm allergic to, good for you. If you eat oranges like I can eat any citrus fruit, doesn't bother me. I can eat mangoes, even though I don't really like them. They're too sweet for me. But I can eat them. They're fine. There's a lot of loquats and Suriname cherries and all these fruits that I can eat. You can also use some of these fruits as ingredients for making pemmican, which is a meat-based food that you can carry with you. So again, when my mother was alive, she loved her coffee. That was a highlight of her day. I started getting her to eat bacon with her egg, and she had her coffee. And I went out of my way to pick the best coffee. I used to get the coffee, the roasted coffee, straight from the Café Pilon place, which is one of the, I used to work near there, and I get that. And I also was growing coffee to mix it in with her coffee, and I was roasting it in the kitchen, which my mom loved coffee. My dad also loved coffee, but he didn't drink it because he thought it was bad for him. He thought that coffee was unhealthy, although he was from Cuba, and in Cuba, coffee is part of the culture. In Cafecito, they love their coffee. The problem with the Cubans, they put a lot of sugar into coffee. So I do believe that if a balanced view on coffee is good, but yes, and I agree, you need to drink the organic coffee. Rick's hair is coffee black. Well, there you go. My hair is actually not that dark when I don't put lard in it. You may have seen that. The video Ali made for me yesterday, I was like you, summed up my whole life. Oh, nice. They say if you get the jitters from coffee, it's possibly due to the pesticides. That's interesting. I have a pull-up bar coming today. That's awesome. I need to put mine back. Mine, you talk about laziness. Mine got destroyed by Hurricane Irma in 2017. A tree branch fell on it. I had a ficus tree that tipped over and it bent the poles. I took it out and I was going to straighten it out and I never did it and I never put it back. Well, I was taking care of my mom at the time and ever since then I haven't done it, but one of these days I'll put it back. I definitely will do that again. I'm glad you have one coming. And I see that, okay, great Angela. Hi, Christy. Hello. I hate to say it, but what's on sale? Oh, better coupons for coffee. Buy what's on sale. Okay. You meet the nicest people in the vote for. Yes. Yes. There was a commercial. What was that? You meet the nicest people. I forget what vehicle that was. I put myself the butter. Yep. And Steadfast 20-426. Good morning, Rick and Chad. Good morning. And we have a good morning here. I hate to say, but I am a coffee snob. There are only certain ones I buy. Well, that's it. And Peter says hi to Joe and Rachel. There we go. What's your favorite brand for Angela Mullins? Oh, that'd be interesting to see of coffee. So let's see. And Marion Allen with 4 2s. Hello all. Well, hello. Hello from Rick in Miami. Understandable. Hi, Peter. Joe and Rachel, I'm really enjoying you guys building and running your farm just north of me in Florida. My brother lives in Sarasota. I'm in Boca. Yes, and I'm hoping that if I ever get my truck finished, I will come and visit your farm. And I'm working on getting you some fruit trees. I've got seeds that I planted. Hopefully they'll start to grow. I have some great mangoes. I'm going to graft you. Well, you can actually grow mangoes from seed most of the time, but I'm going to graft them anyway, so you can get the exact same mangoes I have, and also the avocados. I have 4 varieties. I even have the hard-to-get Marcus pumpkin, the real big one that has kind of a pumpkin shape. And there's an avocado that my friend says tastes like bacon. I'm allergic to avocados, but I'm going to see if that does taste like bacon, and I'm going to give that to you. So you'll have a nice choice of these fruit trees. I don't know how well they'll do in the climate. I think the avocados there will be fine because I've seen avocados around Arcadia. The mangoes, maybe not so much, but hey, you can try it and see what happens. I buy from Denny Tortorich, the honey process from Pure Vitamin. I remember he used to make all those documentary videos. I guess he's still out there and still active. Okay, I've fallen into the Mitch trap over here. I'm trying to catch up, and I am failing miserably in catching up. We have a question. Have you researched fasting, Rick? Not really. I have no interest in starving myself, although a lot of people have related good experiences about it, and it is kind of a traditional thing in some cultures, but I haven't done research on it. But I'm sure a lot of people have. Pure Coffee, he combined companies. Okay. I'm struggling to lose the 20 pounds I gained. So he's asking, Amy, how are you doing with your weight? Any luck? How cool, your neighbor, Papa Carnivore. If you're ever meeting your brother, you'll have to come by and visit the farm. Yes. And Paul Salvatore, I just finished eating for the day. Wow, so you have one meal a day, I guess. Ate 2 eggs, 1 dried big sardine fish. Oh, 1 kefir milk. Yeah, it's still hungry. I'm eating meat tomorrow. Well, that's great. I'm stuck to a 175. And North Dakota Carnivore Lance. Good morning, Rick. Well, good morning. I know you have your live at 11. If anyone gets bored with me, you want to check him out. But if you can't reach him today, he has one also tomorrow. I'm glad that you're here. Heavy cream, just a splash. All right. So we have a hello to Lance and a hello back to Julie. Ed tried OMAD to lose weight. Made deviled eggs yesterday. Nice. I love to visit your farm. You're near Arcadia, right? Not far from Sarasota. Dr. Kiltz has a house in Sarasota, too. I've been there. He's on the bay overlooking downtown. Yeah. Always in the past, I could not stand black coffee. Loved it with cream and sugar. Never thought I'd enjoy black. Well, we are in Arcadia, not far from Sarasota. Yes. Recipe, please. I've done some OMAD when I can. I'm not hungry. Yeah. I've had a lot of stress with my dad and husband's illness. Stress. And you know what? I wish I could find the picture a friend of mine took of me when I was taking care of my mom. I hope it didn't get deleted. But even I put on body fat, and I ate the exact same carnivore diet that I always ate. That would make a good video if I could just find that picture. Okay, how's your dad's produce? Even if you're a millionaire, you can go through money very quickly if you are sick or need assisted living. Yes, that's right. That is wealth, and I'm beginning to understand that. I call myself poor, but if you look at my lifestyle, I don't consider myself poor because some of my other friends, I'm going to be 58 in a couple of weeks, and some of my friends that are my age have so many problems. A younger friend of mine just was dealing with pancreatitis. I had a friend that had horrible constipation, and by the way, he's plant-based. He's plant-based. He eats all that good fiber, and yet he has constipation. Now, explain to me, how do you get constipation when you eat fiber? I don't know, but it doesn't seem to work for him. Have you ever read the book, None Dare Call It Conspiracy? Well, no, I have not. How is Dennis doing? Or maybe you're asking somebody else. When eggs were $6 a dozen, now I can get 18 eggs for $1.84. Yeah, I'll take it. Totally grooming my arm. Those cats, they never give up. We have a hello to Paul. Maybe it's the cream. And 30 eggs here is $6. That's a great way to look at wealth, Rick. Yeah, Christy, I do believe wealth is actually independence. And I think the more independence you have, the wealthier you are. That's what I believe. Have you been watching Rick's Cat Family Kittens videos? That's a good question. Large companies like Blackstone, RealPage, Yardi Systems create artificial real estate market by buying up, leaving vacant, and reinvesting equity, doing this for decades. And that's only possible because they get cheap money from the Federal Reserve. That's why they couldn't do it in the past. Once that idiot or that sick man, Ben Bernanke, came up with quantitative easing and announced it, that's what broke the market. That's why nothing has any real value anymore. And it's been continued through Dutch boy Janet Yellen and also this stooge that Trump put in there that we have now. What is his name? I call him Arthur Burns because he looks like Arthur Burns. What is it? Ben Bernanke. Remember the little thing with him shooting out the money from the money gun? QE Ben. No, not Ben Bernanke. That's QE Ben. My mind is going today. Powell. I can't remember his first name now, but his last name is Powell. So, Powell, the pigeon, the dove, whatever you call it, print the money, print it, Powell. Something Powell. I should know this because I criticize the Fed all the time, but I must be having a senior moment. But anyway, now the next one is Kevin Warsh, which is another stooge. But the thing is, if the inflation keeps going up, the Fed can't print money because if they do, the world will dump the dollar and then everything will fail. Jerome Powell, that's his name, Jerome Powell. The second worst Federal Reserve chairman ever behind Ben Bernanke, who was the worst, absolute worst. And the best was the cigar-smoking, Paul Volcker, otherwise known as Tall Paul. I think he was my height. He was overweight. He lived into his 90s, and he smoked cigars. What does that tell you? He didn't exercise. He didn't eat good food. I think he loved steak. I think that was the one thing about old tall Paul Volcker. He loved his steak and he loved his cigars. And Volcker lived into his 90s. And he never went senile either. That's the amazing thing. Okay, I got away from stress by blocking my 18-year-old daughter's calls and texts. There you go. Lack of sleep gives me body ache and I lose weight. I'm lean. I don't want to lose weight. Yeah, I know the feeling. I don't want to lose weight either. I use 2 tablespoons of cream in my 1 cup of coffee. Okay. Lack of sleep is the worst kind of stress. And when I take care of my mom, she kept me up till 3 in the morning and then woke me up before 8. So I was getting 5 hours of sleep for years. That's probably why I got sick. Well, I didn't really get sick, but I had extra body fat. I was still healthy. I was still able to do things. I just didn't feel great. My sleep wasn't that great either. I've been diving into stress. Cortisol is frightening. What consistent high cortisol does to your body. Yes, it does. What a nice way to cave for him. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Rick's voice is in background. That's weird. I walk 15K to 20 steps at work. Yeah, the furniture store, it's huge. All I drink is organic, freshly ground. Okay, coffee in the French press. There you go. That made me laugh. It was originally the nicest people on a Honda. That's what it was. The Honda motorcycle. Okay. Were they wild berries? So I'm way behind on the chat. What time am I at here? 8:56. I'm not too bad. I just have so many comments from so many wonderful people. It's hard to keep up. But on my live stream, it's you, the viewer, that are number one, not me. Okay. Rick has 73 viewers today. Yes. Let's all be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like button. Okay, that is correct. Eggs are literally free. Guys, just get heads and Napier grass. And by the way, if you don't know what Napier grass is, in Florida we call it elephant grass. It's a weed. It grows very fast. We are looking forward to your fruit trees. As the trees grow, we will get to see them daily and be reminded of friendship. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, again, all of us carnivores have friends that are non-carnivores. Everybody likes a treat. Now, for me, a treat would be like, hey, Rick, I just shot an iguana, or there's a Muscovy duck here I need you to remove for me. Okay, that's my treat. But for a lot of people, if you show up, you have that bowl of fruit. You ever look at when they have drawings of what would a life in paradise be like, a place where people can enjoy their lives. It's not some big city with big, ugly high-rises, those stupid, ugly, boxy glass pieces of garbage like downtown Miami. Downtown Miami, in my opinion, is a dystopia. It is the ugliest, most disgusting place I've ever been to in my life. It's horrible because they try to make it look like it's something great, but it's garbage. They always show something like a field, a forest, maybe by the ocean, whatever, and they show people with delicious food. In my case, it might be a big steak, a big fat duck, but most of the time they show a basket with fruit. Think of the whole cornucopia thing where you have the wicker basket and you have all the fruit stuck in it. So when you have fruit available and your neighbors or your friends come over, they want to hang out, maybe you give them a cup of coffee, maybe you give them some tea, or you give them some fruit. You say, hey, here, there's some fruit in the bowl. Take whatever you want. And most people they'll break out, they'll get an orange, they'll eat that, they'll eat a mango. Maybe they like an avocado, whatever it happens to be, they like it. So there's nothing wrong with having it, and it's great because it's like the gift that keeps on giving. You plant the tree, you take care of it, keeps producing. It's like my bananas. I got 3 bunches of bananas developing in my yard. Now, I admit I have the largest banana plants I've ever seen. I have never been to another home that had banana plants. I've had them 30 feet tall. Nobody else has 30-foot tall banana plants. I gave these bananas to my neighbor. They're only 12 feet tall. And I think a lot of it is because of the compost that I use. But that's great. And I like having friends all around the world. There were berries I buy at the grocery store. There are no wild berries here in South Florida as a city. That is correct. Okay. Rick got his truck finished ever. Yeah, exactly. 73 watching now. I see 77 watching on my display, so it's actually going up. Got stuff to do? Peace. Well, Bill, you glad you were here? Vinny Tortorich lives about an hour from me. I usually speak to him about once a month. Well, that's good. It's good to know different people in this community. Maybe he's making another documentary. Maybe he'll make a carnivore documentary. You never know. Take care and have fun, Bill. Yes, I'm not giving up my big cup of fatty coffee deluxe with lots of butter, bacon grease, splash of cream, vanilla, cinnamon, whipped up. Yum. It's like a coffee milkshake. That's it. Rick, may I ask, how do you cook your pork butt? Thank you. Generally, I cook pork in water. The only thing I do, I put some water in a pot, turn on the heat, and I let it cook down until it's just about ready to burn. And then that little bit of liquid that's left, I pour that out through a strainer, and I try to recover whatever lard is in it for future cooking. And this is the result. Now, I'm the oddball in the carnivore community because I don't like charred meats. In this case, I prefer steamed or boiled meats. I do cook on a grill occasionally, but only when I have big fat steaks. But I never cook pork, chicken, iguana, or any seafood on a grill. That's just something I don't do. I don't like it. And actually doesn't agree with me. The only thing I will cook on a grill is beef and maybe lamb. But generally, I like to cook in a pot. That's one of the differences between me and all the carnivores. I saw an ad for dried small fish sardines where people can eat them as a snack. What an idea. That's true. Sounds like a coffee milkshake. When I went to Rick's house, I saw his truck and van. His living room had a big pile of truck parts in the middle. Yes, all the parts from my truck are inside the house. Once I get my truck back together, then I'll have a living room again. That'll be a miracle. Okay, there's a difference between poor and poverty. Yes, I agree with that. Yes, they taste good, but it will give bad histamine allergy if you eat a lot. Also depends on where you get it. I'm sure we're going to have to finish his truck, get those truck parts out of his living room. Yes, I would like to have a living room. Right now, I have a pile of parts, as you can see. Look at this mess. My living room is like a shop because I don't want to leave the stuff sitting outside because it'll get full of leaves and it'll rust real bad. So everything's in the house. I lost my appetite for eggs. Well, hopefully it'll come back. They eat it with rice here and some fermented anchovies. Huh. Ted had a good checkup at the vet yesterday. Just could stand to lose a pound or two. Smells so bad. Yeah, right? Those fermented fish, it's like surströmming, the Swedish version. It smells terrible, but some people love it. Makes the egg taste better. I have a friend the same age as me who is retired, pension, financially stable. He can manage all that from a sitting position. I believe he might not be using a walker anymore. Oh, okay. Huh. I just stocked up on whole bean caribou coffee for my espresso machine. It was on sale and got every blend they make so I can figure out my favorite one. They're really good, yes. That's what it's like. It tastes like a warm coffee milkshake. Tons of good fat. Start my day. I do very high-fat carnivore. Yes, you guys should try fermented fish. Dip it in your eggs. Interesting idea. What is wrong with YouTube and this chat error? I didn't see a chat error, but I think YouTube's been deleting chats. It's weird. Sometimes it gives me error, try again. I think there's some kind of glitch in the system. We also have fermented duck eggs. Yes, I know about that. I've seen those. Your friend went on carnivore for how long? All right. It jumped ahead here. Linda Flanagan. Good morning, Rick and everyone. Good morning. And Peter's talking about his dog. And Lambs has dropped in. Good morning, Rick and all the quackers. Well, good morning. Powell has been in since 2011. Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, but Powell was a governor. He was not a Fed chairman. He was appointed Fed chairman, I believe, by Trump. That would have to be after 2016. I was born with flat feet and knock knees, all kinds of physical problems in high school, like the botched prolonged hip replacement 3 years ago. Speaking of hip replacement, I know our friend Kelly's going to be getting a hip surgery. Hope all goes well with her. I have 2 Chico fruit. They taste like yogurt, milk with sweet. And BK53. Hi, Rick, Milton, Miss Kitty, and the little kitties, the Saturday Quack team. Well, hello. Glad that you're here. Venetian Cat. Hey, Rick, kitties, and fam. It's been a minute. Hope everyone's doing well. Yes, I think we're doing okay. All right. I think I'll be doing any heroics, major surgery. If it's cancer, we'll do my best to make her comfortable. So that's it. Hopefully it isn't serious. But, you know, people get old, they start having all these problems. I found a good mineral water, Mineragua. A lot of people drink that. They have that at Walmart, I've seen. Costco Business Center. Sugar apple tastes like milk. Oh, talking about the fruit. There we go. Hi, you Dutch quacker. Yes. Chico fruit have hard shell. The fruit have grainy texture. Trying to talk myself by hook of running shoes. Oh. Heard Rick has to put a blinky light on top of his banana plants so the airplanes don't run into them. They are pretty big. When you see me out in the yard, you can see how they are. Good morning. How's the kitties doing? I keep up with your shorts on them. Kitties are doing pretty good. Even the little black and white one seems to be moving a little better. So the kitties are doing well, and the one is actually improving. They get plenty of time outdoors. Now, they've gone from living under the bobcat to living by my front door. I think the next step for them, they want to come in the house. That's what it is. And they'll be in there eventually. Okay. I found a good candidate to rent the master suite and apartment. Okay, because this is an older building. Locked in holding. Nice. Okay. Holding her breath, she has high mold intolerance. Okay. You need a parts room off your garage. What if your home didn't have the fragrance of transmission and other fluids? Well, like I said, if I build the home I want, which I started to on my lot, it's a 900 square foot house, and there will be a shop that will be at least 2,000 square feet. So that is, all my parts will be out there in the house. It'll be me and the kitties and maybe the occasional pet duck. ACS ultraviolet light. I've installed a lot of those, although they don't seem to really work that well. I guess they help. The essence of walk into an AutoZone. Duck egg convolutus duck chick. I don't know how people can eat that. I don't know. I don't know why, but some people do seem to like it. What do you find out about your pup? Dead chicken, it's happened to me. Yeah, there you go. That is gross. Lady is so sensitive. Roommate actually shared the room with her. Affected her with mold symptoms from her belongings. Yeah, some people definitely have that sensitivity. And it looks like at 9:16, I have caught up with all the comments. This is great. So now that I've caught up with the comments, I can start the Rick rant as the comments start to come in faster and faster. We have, it looks like 67, so it may have gone down, it may have gone up. But anyway, let's talk about what's been going on. Now, during the week, we've had several people that have had lives. We've had several people that have put up videos, and you've probably seen that I've been in some videos myself. There's also several different subjects that have been popping up. Now, one of the biggest things that happened during the week is that inflation was said to be a lot higher than they expected, but I told everybody that inflation is actually understated. What they say about inflation is always less than it actually is. The financial system that we have works on a concept called financial repression, which means they print money to artificially lower interest rates. So that's it. Mute yourself and blow your nose. It's not a matter of blowing my nose. It's actually a matter of sinus swelling up. It's one of those things that you just can't stop. But anyway, and I have a cat here that just will not come out of my nose. You can thank Milton for that one. So there's nothing like having a dedicated workspace in your home. We live in a 26 by 56 double wide with 9-foot ceilings. Have an art studio and a closed climate control garage. There you go. I know Mitch also lives in the double wide, but he has his place nicely organized. Rick has iguanodemia. There we go. Me and Rick have same issue with the nose. Yeah, it happens. It definitely happens. Maybe what I'll do is take a bite of my pork. Not bad. I'll have some water. Well, I like the idea of having two separate buildings. That way, because the thing is, when I move, if I ever get to the point where I have, let's see. Okay. I'd like having two separate buildings. I want to have my small home surrounded by trees and well camouflaged, and then the larger shop where I can work on my stuff. What's the spot on the end of your nose? Well, that's a good question. I'll tell you what it is. That was a little mishap I had on the bicycle. I was riding my bike, and I hit one of our wonderful sidewalks, which sticks up about 7 or 8 inches, and I ended up slamming into a tree branch, and it did this to me. So that's one of the things. I didn't have my phone with me, so I didn't record it, but that was from a nice little bike ride. Mine seem to be less now with the amazing diet. My trigger is dust and eating a lot of dried fish. Well, there you go. Sinus issues, mine is a structural issue. It would take surgery to fix it. And when I was a kid, it was like when they wanted to pull teeth to straighten my teeth with braces. I said no. So I decided to just deal with it. That's all I can do. Our studio, but I like my concrete block condo here in South Florida. Perfect thing. Yeah, second outbuilding. Exactly. I get it. Keep going like it. Yeah, Holstein, tons of love. If you decide to keep him, he'll become the absolute best cat. Love does amazing things. Well, I try my best to help them out. They're probably outside right now, although I can't show you them. But I'm sure if I open the door, they'll probably be right there. And good morning to everyone from Faith, Fuel, and Footsteps. Well, good morning. Glad to see you back here. And those plants, yeah, right? Dedicated building kind of for nice thing, it's still on your property. Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you what. Let me go out and look out the door and see if the kittens are still there. I'll be right back. Okay, kitties. Where are the kittens? Where are the kittens? Aww. They're hungry. Oh my goodness. Milton. Come here, Milton. You got some Milton. Oh, look at Milton. Milton is a sweetie. You'd have to see this. I open the door. Mama cat is asking for food, and all the kittens are sitting together in like a little kitten pile right there by the front door. They are so cute. The kittens are cute. I don't know why people hate cats. I just love my little kitties. They're so cute. I made 6,000 pesos saying Kefir grains. Oh, in Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. The surgery didn't work for my son, his deviated septum. I'd not advise that torturous thing. Nostrils packed with gauze, very uncomfortable surgery. That's why I didn't do it. If people don't like the sniffling, that's too bad. But it doesn't bother me. When I'm not talking, it doesn't happen. It's when I talk, the resonance, the vibration causes that to happen. But I do believe there's an advantage. By having sinus issues, the first time I catch the flu, it hits right here, gives me a headache, gives me the sniffles, but I've never had a respiratory issue in my entire life. And I live in a moldy house, a cluttered house, and I've never had a major problem. So what would happen if they fix the sinus thing? It would just go down to the respiratory system. Do you think I want to end up with bronchitis or pneumonia? No. I believe as long as I have this sinus issue, I'll never get pneumonia. I'm going to die of a heart attack. That's what I'm shooting for. We all have to go sometime. I want to go in a way that's spectacular and quick. And I think the heart attack, that's the way to go. Have a big, fat steak and get a massive heart attack and just drop dead. And that's it. I think that would be ideal in my opinion. But again, I'm just putting it out there. Am I serious? Probably not. I don't want to drop dead. Nobody wants to drop dead. But you got to go sooner or later. Might as well do it in a way that You're not sitting in a nursing home, because, again, when you live by yourself, no one's going to take care of you. The only way they'll get you is if you have something they can take from you, some money or property or whatever. They can milk you for that, stick you in the nursing home. This way, just drop dead, and I don't have to worry about it. I'm gone. It's not my problem anymore. That's it. All right, so let me go back here. Okay. Where did this go? Okay, there's my comments. Rick is normalizing the engine part living room. Well, that is very true. I like keeping my engines inside. All right, let's see. Good morning. There we go. And let's see. They need to make plug-in air fresheners with the fragrance of parts store. Well, that is so cute. This knows probably sounds like quacks. That's nice and convenient, yes. You think the sniffling? This is a good day. Whenever I make the short videos, the less than 12-minute videos that I used to make, you don't see me sniffling that much because it builds up over time. But I have no problem. It's not a big deal. Okay. Oh, sounds like Milton has left the bedroom. Okay, let's see. Did I miss? I think my comments somehow got messed up here. It's stuck. All right, there we go. All right. You don't want respiratory issues. Heart attack works for me. Yes. I know a lot of people that have had it. I know older people, they used to smoke all the time, and they spent the last 10 years of their life totally miserable with COPD. That is not something good. Good morning from Goose Creek, South Carolina. Well, good morning to Eat a Ham Bone. Good morning. Glad that you're here. Good morning still to Yellow Rose. Yes. Grandfather did it right. He ate a big donut and went to sleep. He didn't wake up. There you go. Use oil paints. He was 80-ish. There you go. I have ventilation and air filters. He died 2007. I'm dead. I don't have any problems anymore. That's right. That's it. I have sinus issues. Post-nasal drip 24/7, and it vibrates in my throat. When I talk, I have to clear my throat a lot. Drives everyone nuts. It's worse when I get bronchitis. See? I'm not the only one that has it. Have you tried copper wire for mold? Watched only a few days ago. You can treat the walls by using a copper wire or to clean it. Well, you can also make copper sulfate. Isn't it brass? Yeah, it does. Silver is the one that has the most antibacterial properties because silver is very toxic to bacteria. I love cats so much. I foster orphan kittens every year. It's so rewarding. I have a little fluffy black male right now who was found in the snow a couple of weeks ago. Well, there you go. The thing is that cats are common and they breed like crazy. So everywhere you look, you're going to find them. So if you're looking for a pet, then you don't have to, like some of these people, they buy, which I don't understand. People buy pets, which I think is just stupid. They buy these funny looking little dogs and stuff so they can show off as a status symbol. Well, kitty cats, thankfully, are not like that. There's a few over fancy Persian or Angora cats or whatever, and they might have some people into those Maine Coon cats, but most cats are just cats, and they are absolutely everywhere. So if you want a pet, and you want a friendly pet, or a menace like Milton, you can always get your hands on one. They're easy to find. Look behind any dumpster, look on any empty lot, look behind any old rundown building, and you'll find kittens hanging around. Or if you're like me, somebody dumps a pregnant female in your yard, or a female that's in heat and gets pregnant, has 5 kittens. So there's always going to be cats around. That's just one of those things. And they're cute. Cats are cute. They're actually quite nice little pets. I think no is the first line. Yeah, it is the first line of defense. The cat distribution system. And I think that one of the reasons why, although I tested positive for the COVID thing 3 times, my symptoms were minimal. They always started with a headache, sinus issues, a lot of sneezing, a lot of nose blowing, And people, they take medication to reduce mucus, and I don't believe that. I think that more mucus is better because it just swallows all those bacteria and viruses, and you can low them out and get rid of them. I think that's one of the things that really good. Cats, wonderful stress relievers. Fish market cats are big and have nice skins because they steal fishes. I notice wild cats far from markets have a lot of skin issues. That is true. Cats are quiet unless they're Milton. So many great pets in the shelter, there's no reason to buy. It is all how you train them, especially dogs. Yeah, I just don't understand why anybody would buy a pet when there's plenty of animals that are already out there that need a home. I mean, obviously, in the animal shelter, they're killing pets all the time, and they're not even doing it for the right reason, because if I had a duck animal shelter, you know that we would be giving ducks away, but the ducks that could be adopted, maybe they're a little bit aggressive, they would move to the special duck fattening area, and they would meet the duck guillotine at a moment that they're not expecting. And next thing you know, they would be delicious. So that's a good thing. But yeah, people just let their animals breed, and that's it. I love cats. Siamese are my favorite breed. I absolutely adore my Siamese kittens. Siamese are also great. Hyperallergenic. People with allergies. Yeah, that's true. And black cats seem to be not that much of a shedder. Miss Kitty sheds a lot of fur, but Milton, barely any. The only time I get fur from Milton is when he sticks his paws in my face. I get maybe one little cat hair, but Milton does not shed a lot of cat hair. I don't think he's really allergenic in any way. We are meeting friends at a car show this morning in a couple of hours. Oh. Remember how fun it was to drive in movies? Yeah. The drive-in movies were great until they figured out they could use the land for development and make more money. Feed our neighborhood cats every day. Cat distribution system, yep. Never heard the Siamese cat. Oh, that's good to know. Yes, it is. Some male cats are very friendly, but a lot of them are very bad cats. They look for fight. I don't know. That's interesting. I think Milton's pretty friendly. Does chicken rescue? Never knew it was a thing. Well, you can rescue the chicken and eventually get that chicken in the pot. So that's a good thing. We have parking lot chicken over here. There's actually chickens running around downtown Miami, which I think is pretty funny. How old is Milton? Milton was probably 2 months old when we discovered him in October of 2024. So 25, probably a year and a half old, more likely. Getting close to 2 years old. Milton is just about fully mature, I think. And generally, cats live at least 7 times as long. So Milton should live at least 14 years, but my cats have all lived between 18 and 21 years. So hopefully Milton will live that long. So Milton will be around after I've moved and after a lot of things have happened. Let's see. Pure carnivore diet for pets greatly reduces dander and shedding. Maybe that's what it is. Because Milton's fur is beautiful if you've ever seen him. Everybody's seen him. My white cat shed so bad in summer. It was like it was snowing. I don't miss that. Let's see. That fur going up my nose and on my clothes. Yeah. Hyperallergenic. Have those gorgeous now eyes, and they're very talkative. They're amazing. Well, Milton is talkative too. That's the problem. Yeah. Milton talks all the time. He's cute. And that's awesome. All right. So anyway, we have really interesting things going on during the week. Again, we have the inflation issue. We have the fuel issue. We have all these things that are happening. They had some excuse to travel to China. So you got over there, presidents blabbing away. Probably talking about how much money they're making off the stock market, but whatever. Stock and commodities. While the rest of us, we have to kind of survive, try to work. Now, during the week, I didn't work as much as I did last week. Last week, I worked a lot. This week, I did a couple of, 3 jobs, and I've been struggling with this bearing. A friend of mine, he insisted he could get the bearing for his Bobcat final drive. Now, I told him that bearing is hard to get, but he was pretty insistent that he could get it. And, of course, I got in a hurry. So now I have a little conundrum going on here. I don't know where. I think the hub is over here, but let me show you. Get it. There we go. This right here. This is a hub. It's from a track loader Bobcat. As you can see, it's cast iron. There's a bearing that goes on the outside, and this is a bearing race on the inside. Now, the original bearing, water had gotten in, and you can see the bearing was destroyed. It was all messed up. So I told him, we'll order an outer bearing and we'll fix it. But he wanted to order the inner bearing as well. So I did that. So the bearing is okay. I told him the bearings were hard to get. This is the original roller bearing. Now this is the race. I had to mess it up by welding it to expand it so I could get it out. But this is the original bearing for the hydraulic motor. Now these bearings use a different taper. So they ordered this bearing from the bearing place, which, and I knew it was going to be a problem, but the thing is, he was pressuring me. He wanted to get it fixed real fast, which is okay. I understand that. And I got busy during the week, so came down to the point where, okay, the bearing came in, let's get it done. So I went, put it together, and I never bothered to look at the bearing. Now, at first glance, these bearings look exactly the same. This is a new bearing, and this is the old one. They look the same. But there's a problem. When you look at them from the side, this bearing has more angle than this one. And I don't know if you could see it on this camera, but this bearing has a greater angle than this one. And that means that the bearing race is a little bit narrower because it has a steeper angle. And they do this for the hydraulic motor because there's a lot of pressure that goes on this and it has to be just right. So, and again, you can probably see it better like this. Original, replacement. See the taper, how different it is? Okay. Now, because of that, I made the mistake of putting in the race, and then I realized it didn't fit. Now I got a problem. We got to get the right bearing, but now I got to get the race out of it. And if we want to take the bearing back, we can't because it's stuck in there. So, this is a blind, well, almost a blind bearing. There is no way to punch it out. See that? So, to get this bearing out, I would have to destroy it. Or what I may do today, if I get time, I'm going to take a torch and I'm going to put it on this housing and try to heat it up and then use ice to chill the bearing. I might be able to get it out. But this is what I'm dealing with today. Okay. And anyway, that was because I didn't take the time to check the bearing before I tried to install it. I was letting my friend, my customer, put pressure on me to try to get the job done. I learned from experience, when you work on anything, never ever let the person that's your customer pressure you to get it done. Normally, I just tell people, if you want it in a hurry, take it somewhere else. But now, I got to deal with this issue. So that'll be something that I'll be messing with. And again, the bearing place made a mistake. I specified the bearing I wanted, but he was in a hurry. He couldn't wait a couple of weeks to get the correct bearing. He had to have it now. And this is what happens. Oh, well. We used to have a place called Blair Bearings that supplied bearings locally. They closed. When the owner of the company died, the family didn't want it anymore, so I guess they just let it go away. Anyway, that's what I'm dealing with. And it's so simple. I mean, you just look at the number. These Rexroth hydraulic motors are very specific. So, but again, don't listen to Rick. Rick doesn't know what he's doing, but that's okay. Remember, don't fall under pressure. People start putting pressure on you, that's when you have to tell them no. And I have to admit, I'm not taking my own advice, but I need to take my own advice. But sometimes you just, hey, you know, I'm just going to do it, and it didn't work. What am I going to do? Anyway, let's see here. The comments are coming in. How many people do we have watching right now? Let me go back to my channel. I have 71. Nice. 73. There we go. If we ever get to 100, that'll be a real milestone over here. Georgette says she talks constantly. My mother, Siamese cat, was 20 years old. Cats can live a really long time. My cat's barely shed. Yes. I brush them regularly. Good hair filter. Yeah. That should say blue eyes. My kittens all seem to have blue eyes, which is cute. I'll let you know. The vet appointment goes next week. I'm hoping it's not cancer. My kitty is the dad kitty. His name is George. Yours is Georgette. I love it. Yeah. I don't do extended fasting. As Rick says, fasting is starving. Yes. I think that fasting, if one is lean, I think fasting is a bad idea. I think that fasting is just basically trying to starve yourself. You can wreck your metabolism. And I think in the long run, it'll work against you. If your body gets used to fasting, when you're trying to gain muscle or mass, it's going to want to store body fat. And I think that's a mistake. Bearings should never be in the living room. Well, I got news for you. Some of these recliners have bearings in them. And there are bearings in my air conditioner, which is in the living room. So you never know. Good to see you. I lose more weight. My first meal is 11 to 12 noon. Working, that would be, working to be hard. Rick makes bearings dirty with his hands. Okay. How goes? Okay. Ready to head out to work? There we go. That happens when things need to go too fast. Yes. People start putting pressure. And I normally tell them no. If you're in a hurry, I'll give you a list of people that can do the job for you. I hate, you get people and they got to tell you what to do. The air conditioner's broken. You need to do this and that. I said, well, why you call me? Here, you do it. I love that. You go, here, you do it. And then they find out that, well, they'll leave you alone after that. I like the interruption in digestion. Best to delay my first meal until then. I go into work 8:30. Yeah. And Bacon Runner has returned. And speaking of Jonathan, here is Joe, Sleep and Slim Down Journey, Jonathan's friend. Hey, everyone. Well, hello. Glad that you're here. Yes, it does. Learn the hard way doing commission paintings. Yes, exactly. When people rush you, they're going to end up with something bad. Via Hokas. What kind of cat is Georgette? I pretty much don't break fast until around noon. There we go. Didn't hit the buy now button yet. 72. Now we're down to 69. Okay. Ryan Air. 258. Good morning, Rick and everyone. Good morning. 73. It goes up and down. Great. Have a good day. Bon appetit. I'm lean and don't fast. I need to eat 3 times a day. That's what I do. We're the minority around here. So fasting might not be good for the elderly. IR1. I agree with that. Why fast? It's better to be a little fat if you're strong than to be skinny and sickly. That's what I think. Good points. And my B&E. Okay. Jeanette, hi, Rick, Milton, Miss Kitty, Kittens, and Quacks. Yes, well, good morning. Glad that you're here. Rick and Dr. Dels is so cute. What a size difference. Yeah, right? This show must be studying breakfast once again. Kaboom. Guess who stepped in the room? Oh, well. What are you doing up so early, Russ? I'm surprised. I don't think I've ever seen you up before noon, but I'm glad that you're here. Actually, I did. The time that we had Carrie call in, you were there. But I'm glad that you're here. And if you don't know who Russ is, well, then you haven't been watching, because Russ has his keto cookout, and as you probably know, I was there. I'm there every other week. And I believe the next time you might actually learn something. When I'm there, you're not going to learn anything. No sound. Uh-oh. That's weird. I mean, I have sound, I think. Okay, why I have no sound? Okay. No sound. I don't know. Hold on a second. Do I have no sound? Let me see. Okay. Why I have no sound? Okay. I have sound. Oh well. I guess YouTube is playing games again. You know how that is. All right. I was up late with Grandma Crochet. Well, that's it. If you stay up all night, you have to get up late. I went to bed early. Okay. There we go. Yes, we have some hellos here. And let's see. The comments are strong again. I'm meeting with friends this morning for breakfast in a car show. Okay, working now. Becoming 59 next month. No one can make me hurry up no more, not even traffic. Well, that's it. Now, I have to admit, people do drive very sluggish here. My last video, somebody was going really slow. It was driving me nuts. I almost hate driving around here. Hey, Russ, great to see you here. Yes. Hope your new job is going well. I missed a question about naming the kittens. What are you going to name the little gray and white one you're keeping? I don't know yet. I'm not going to name any of the kittens until I know which kittens are staying and which ones are going. And it all depends on who is, I choose to be nice enough to take some of the kitties. I know everybody wants the orange one, and the little white and gray one is really, really friendly. So it's all going to depend. And they're all hanging out by my front door. I think the problem is I don't have that camera app I had. The phone ran out of space. Otherwise, I'd take the camera outside to show them to you. But they are outside. Georgetta's a gray and white tabby. I can hear you fine, Rick. Yeah, I can hear myself too. I should have captured a picture of Dr. Nelson standing next to Rick with Rick. That's actually in my intro. I can show you that. That's not a problem. Dr. Nelson, sounds good here. Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I don't know. Sounds good to me. I can hear you just fine. I hear you. And Russ says, what's up, everybody? What's up? You're going to have a song going on, I'm sure. You never know. I hear you. I've been able to hear the whole time. Yeah. Loving my new job. Nice. First time I'm feeling well again. That's great. I'm not sure what your job was, but sounds good, loud and clear. Sound works here. Sounds like Rick. Yeah, I hope so. Hope it doesn't sound like anybody else. Sing us in. Just kidding. Well, there you go. Good morning to Russ. And perfect sound. Well, I appreciate that. Why are you up this early? Okay. Russ is very popular here, so we know that everybody likes you. Insomnia is real, family. Just saying. Well, there you go. That's it. Like my kitten, Tiny Tim. There you are. Mopar Charger for cat names. I called the black and white one Oreo. I was told there was a car show here yesterday. I just don't understand having them on a Friday when most people are working. That is weird. Call a little orange one Peach. How do we send funds to support the cat food purchases for Miss Kitty? Well, I guess you could do the buy me a coffee thing, or we can make some kind of arrangement. There's also, what do they call that? What is that called? Where they send you money by email. Oh boy. There's something where they send you money by email, and I forget what it's called. Garfield, Felix, Sylvester. There you go. Well, my orange cat before was named Garfield. He was awesome. Anyone know how Dr. Nelson has been doing lately? I haven't seen him recently. That's a good question. If anybody has any information on that, let us know. We have a hi to Russ. Christy has got to run. See y'all later. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you're having a good weekend. Glad that you were here for almost 2 hours. Milton has been introduced. No, Milton only knows Miss Kitty. He has not been introduced to the kittens. I will be letting the kittens in when they're able to eat. I'm going to try to see how they react. I don't want to have a tragedy because Milton is a wild animal, but we'll see. I want to get Miss Kitty. What I want to do when I get Miss Kitty fixed, I'm going to have to keep the kittens here. I got to get myself another litter box. I'm going to have to set up a spot where they can hang out. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I'll figure something out. That's all, Rick. There you go. It's not Venmo. It's, what is that called? I'll put the Buy Me a Coffee link, but PayPal money order. It's not PayPal. It's, oh my goodness, what is it? That's it. Zelle. Zelle. That's the name of it. PayPal is also with email. Okay. Well, Zelle is what it is. I believe the bank has that as well. Doc is good. Talked to him yesterday. See, Russ keeps in contact. Russ is in the loop. I'm out of the loop. I never know how anyone's doing, but I should check with him. Just put up Buy Me a Coffee. I have that too. Let me see. Yeah, it's called Zelle. And my email address that's used for Zelle is my old email, which is, what is that? It's charger68 at bellsouth.net. That's the old email. Okay, let's see. He had a setback on Thursday. Oh, doing better yesterday. I didn't know that Dr. Nelson had a health issue. Interesting. He had a setback. Call one of the Pharaohs the yellow orange tuxedo butters. There we go. That's great. Let's pray for Dr. Nelson. Yes. I wasn't aware that he had a health issue again. That should be used with my phone number. Everybody. Okay. Transfer. What happened to Dr. Nelson? That's a good question. Oops. Okay. Miss Mary is asleep right now beside me. She's playing and running around like a young cat. Okay. Let me see if I can find. Okay. Had a gallbladder attack, had to have emergency surgery. Okay, that's what it was. Yes. Let me see. I heard about that. Anyone watch the new series of Dutton Ranch? I'm not even sure what that is. Okay, let me double check here. Okay. That's the Buy Me a Coffee link. Where did my chat go? It disappeared. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let me get a little bit of water here. Hold on a second. The kittens are so cute. Where are the kittens? All right. Milton is asleep on my bed, so that's good. I'm watching Dutton Ranch. I don't even know what that is. Is that a TV show or something? The next one is Friday. I didn't know about Dr. Nelson. Praying for him. Praying my eyes open. How do people get gallbladder removed? What's the reason you get gallbladder stones? It's not sugar again, right? Well, hard to say. Good interview yesterday. Yeah, I was mentioning that before. Praying for Dr. Nelson. Problems on carnivore. Well, I don't think the carnivore did it because if carnivore caused gallbladder issues, I would have them, and I don't. All right. So anyway, let's see here. Looking good. 3-year-old. It showed yesterday as my great-grandson. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I have no idea. I don't watch TV. Don't have time for it. So I really don't know. I tell everybody I'd rather live my own life than watch TV shows. All right. How long has Dr. Nelson been on Animal Base? That's a good question. Well, Dr. Nelson, I mean, he's had a lot of health issues before he ever went on carnivore. So it's pretty obvious that there could be a lot of hidden issues going on there. And of course, all of us are going to have health issues eventually. I just hope that mine come on suddenly and fatally so I don't have to worry about it. I was watching this morning, as you probably know, Dan and his channel, which I didn't see him pop in today. He's probably busy. But he had the guy that I met at one of the meetups. And I was talking about his parents, trying to take care of them and how frustrating that can be. And I remembered when I was taking care of my parents. My dad was always into health foods and supplements. And when he turned 80, he started having heart issues. And he denied it, which I thought was really interesting because when my dad was kind of slowing down, you know, it was like, I think you have heart trouble. No, my heart is strong. And I'm not even a doctor, but he indeed had heart trouble. And the one time that my dad felt better is when we had steaks. We went to Golden Corral, which isn't the greatest place in the world, but he ate several of the steaks. And when he came home, the same day he felt better. Same day. And I could never convince my dad to have a steak a day. I told my dad, a steak a day will keep the doctor away. And think about it. You have a person. My dad started having symptoms. He had trouble getting out of the chair. I said, Dad, when you can't get out of the chair, that's when your life is almost over. You're a normally healthy person. You can no longer get up on your own. You got a problem. And that's it. But parents never listen to their kids. We don't know anything. We're the babies. Right? Show is like watching TV in the early days. We have come full circle. Well, there you go. I don't remember. Michael Pregler is here. I didn't catch you earlier. One of my 5 great-grandchildren turns 5 today. Happy birthday, William. Wow. 5 great-grandchildren. Now, that's a good sign. When you're talking about great-grandchildren, that's a good sign. I think I remember somewhere in the range. All better problems on carnivore. Yeah. I mean, we still have health issues. We can still get injured. We can still get sick. We're not 100%, and we're all going to die anyway. I think we get World War II and economic collapse before your heart attack. Well, we'll see. We will see. You mean World War III. And if we have World War III, I think a heart attack is going to be the last of my problems. For Dr. Nelson, 1-2 year. Okay. Oh, Thomas is having it live at the usual time at 4. We're going to start checking out some of these other lives. Can't heal everything with any diet, but carnivore sure helps a lot of us. Yeah, it does. Got to hop in the shower, get ready for my car show trip. Be listening in the shower with my waterproof earbuds. I do that all the time on the bathroom speaker. I don't like those little things, those commas you stick in your ears. I think they look ridiculous, but they do work for some people. But I just have a speaker up on the ceiling of my bathroom. What's left of the ceiling, thanks to the roof leaks. But speaker still works. Who is Thomas Guest? Happy birthday to Willow. 5 is a cute age. Yes, it is. Watching YouTube from the couch is good for me. Skip the ads. Are you getting ads on my... You should not be getting ads on my channel. I'm not monetized, so if they're putting ads on there, I don't know what they're doing, but I guess you're talking of another channel. Powdered butter syndrome. Yeah, right. You mean powdered butt syndrome. She's a sweetheart, love my baby. So there you go. I want to outlive everybody I know and then inherit everything. Well, good luck with that. Jerry has a live this morning, usually around 1. But now that we've caught up with the comments, let's talk about some of these lives because you don't want to spend the whole day with me. And I really appreciate the fact that so many other people are coming online. Remember, I did up to 12-hour lives because there was nothing going on Saturday. But now there's a lot of people here. So it's about time for us to split it up. And you know me, I always put everybody, I make links to their live streams because I want everybody to participate. The problem that we have is that people look to leaders. And when you look to a leader, you're going to get led someplace you don't want to go. But if everybody participates, then it kind of keeps everybody honest and it keeps everything going. Strong social network is supposed to help with longevity. That's what's happening here. What's part of it? It's not 100%, but that's okay. So let me go ahead and let's check out. Oh, gallbladder issue within a year being on carnivore diet. Has had very low fat diet, being on vegan diet for 13 years. Had to cut back on fat and went on 1 meal a day. Yeah. Want to watch? Dark. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's see who we got. All right. Now, I started the morning with Dan, who I don't see here. I guess I'll be on his channel eventually. So let me go to YouTube and let's see who we got live today. All right. Looks like Homestead How has another video. They got their theater. They want to buy the house next door. Well, I guess they can turn it into a B&B. Maybe they should buy it. Plus, it's right next to the theater, so if they ever want to put in a parking lot, that's the spot to do it. All right, what else we got here? I see that Kip is making videos again. I don't know if he got his surgery or not. Hopefully he's doing well. All right, so we got a bunch of these. So let's see how many of our people are going to have lives coming up. So let's check it out. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. In 2 hours, we have Jonathan and Dan. So that'll be 2 hours? Oh, I thought it was at 1. Well, it says 1 p.m., so it's a little more than 2 hours. Okay. All right, I'll get them ice cubes out of my system. Let's go over here and see who else is going to be live. All right. Thomas. Live. Okay. In 5 hours at 4, looks like we have Mr. Jeff from Carnivore Talk. Jeffrey Klein. There we go. We know who that is. So we have that one. Who else do we have? Let's see. All right. Who am I missing? Where's Jerry? Hmm. Let's see. Right? Okay. That'll be less than an hour. Okay. Who else do we have? All right. Oh. Okay. All right. I'm not sure how many other people we have that have lives, but if there are any, you can always speak up. So there's always somebody to watch. That's one of the things here that is guaranteed. Thank you for sharing the QR code, Rick. Sent you a little something, Helmut Kitty. Well, I appreciate that. And Ida Hambone has left the chat. Have a great day, everyone. Well, thank you for being here and commenting. And we have some hellos. Who's your favorite live? That's a good question. Good question. I have to think about that one. Favorite live. There's a petting zoo at the dairy farm today. Some of my grandchildren are going, so I'll have to meet them there. Okay. Lack of lives in the week. As I start doing them, I picked 10 a.m. Central 11 to be on after Dr. Kiltz on Sundays. I would do it earlier because Rick is on then. Yes. And I've been here for more than a year and a half, so I've settled in this spot. And I'll continue to do it. I'm looking for health if longevity comes because it is great. Well, I wish you'd put some videos, but you seem to be doing quite well, and that's really good. And I think you mentioned to me that at one time that you were like me and you had a bobcat or some kind of skid steer or something, which you enjoyed that. That's another one of those jobs that I used to do, and I don't do it much anymore, but it was always enjoyable. We have a morning. I better set my alarm. Good morning to Lance. They are cute kittens. Yes, they are cute. Watch, listen, Dr. Kiltz on the way to church on Sundays. There you go. Pray for the little black and white kitten. Yes. Wanting to get better. Are you eating ice? Yes, I eat ice all the time because my parents told me it was bad for me. So I continue to do it to this day. I have so much to do today. Hope I can make one. Well, there we go. Same. Hello, Donna Ray. Rick's voice sounds best on a tiny phone speaker like a primitive radio broadcast. It is kind of like a radio broadcast. When I get my new studio, I'll make sure that I put all the ceiling tiles on the wall so it looks exactly like a radio station. I even have a little on-air sign, so that'll work out quite well. Dr. Kiltz and Mitch, yes. Praying for a little kitty. It seems his leg is a bit better. Yes, seems to be. Thanks for the chats today. Cambridge, Canada from Max D. Well, thank you so much for being here. Good morning. There we are. All right, so we've caught up again. That's good. Yes, if you know, I do eat the ice cubes when I'm drinking water. That's one of those things that I've always done. I wonder what happened to my chat here. It kind of went away. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, so... Okay, good. So everything is working properly. Now, again, we have all these lives that you can watch, and if there are any more, you might want to bring it out there. And I do pop up from time to time on other people's lives. Now, as you know, I have never conducted interviews on my channel. I've had people call in on the phone. and I've been guest on other channels. When I start my new channel, which I'll do eventually, I just haven't had time to really get set up for it. But when I do, I'm going to specialize in 12 to 15 minute videos. That seems to be the time that I like to watch. And then what I'll do, I will edit the videos so you'll get the best of me. You won't get all the sniffles and the other noise that goes with it. They'll be the best of Rick. And then I will probably also start doing some interviews. That'll be my goal. And when I do the interviews, what I'll do, I will most likely record them. They probably will not. I mean, they may be live at times. It depends. I'm still debating on that. But I think when I do my first interviews, they're going to be recorded, because then that way I don't have to use any kind of streaming software. I can just do it directly, and then I can edit it, and we'll just make sort of a, I don't know, it'll be the Dave Mack style. And as you know, Dave Mack's very first interview was me, and the second one was Bob from Semi-Retired Bob. Now, I have not seen Semi-Retired Bob comment in my live stream for many weeks now. I know that he's been working at the golf course, so that may be why he's been so busy. I know he had that fall when he fell on the ice, and that kind of pushed everything back for a while, but hopefully he has been able to recover to the point where he's able to work and do what he needs to do. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see. But again, everybody has their setbacks, and carnivore or not, we're all getting old. We're all running into issues, and it's just something that is unavoidable. Okay. And the comments all popped in at once. Must be very warm where you are. Yeah, it's been 90 degrees plus. It was 94 degrees yesterday, 95 the previous day. Very hot and very unpleasant, but that's normal for here. The weather here is hot and humid. That's it. Okay. And Michael Pregler says, my wife had brain surgery Monday, so I'm caretaking at this moment. She's doing great. Well, that's got to be pretty traumatic, but I'm glad that she is doing great. And with you as a caretaker, I agree that's probably going to be even better. For you, Sir Sniffles, it's okay. It's just one of those things. That's it. I used to enjoy listening to Thomas and Rick when Thomas would call in. It was like eavesdropping on two guys talking on a public phone. Well, that's true. And the other thing, too, I thought about when I do change, when I move, whenever that is, if it ever happens, which I'm sure it will, I'm going to be putting in a payphone into my new studio. So what I want to do when I move, I'm going to set up the living room exactly the way you see it here. There will be no change, except there won't be any clutter in the room. I'll have everything from the contents of this room put into my new living room. And then what I'll do is have like a multi-view. So I'll have the couch right here. And then off to the side, like I used to do, sometimes I'd make videos in front of my stereo system, sometimes in front of the bookcase, sometimes by the window. If you look at all the videos I made in the past, when my living room was not cluttered, like with Dr. Chafee, that was a nighttime video. So the window, the Venetian blinds are in the background. Dave Mack video, I think I was in front of my stereo. So I used to make various videos. I've also made videos from my bedroom, which I did when the air conditioner, when I got that fixed. So I've made a lot of different videos. And so what I want to do is have like a show where you have the time on the couch with the chat. And then there's going to be like the interview videos. So when I do an interview, instead of being here on the couch, I'll be on another part of the room where the whole wall is covered with ceiling tiles from the 50s. And it has the microphone, you know, what you have here. I'd like to get another one of these if I could find one. They actually still make them, but they're kind of expensive. But if I can find another Shure, a 55S, I thought about setting up like Dr. Kiltz has. He has his little table where he can do interviews. I want to do the same thing. And eventually, sometimes people will come to visit me. They can sit down at the table and we can have an interview. And I think that's going to be one of those things to add to it. So I'm letting everybody do interviews and live streams and whatever. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. When I get set up for it, then I'm going to actually do more of the formal one-on-one interviews. What I'd like to do, I want to do it sort of in, like if I do an in-person interview, for example, I want to do that sort of individual view where you have two cameras set up on whoever's interviewing and the person being interviewed, one face on, one a little bit sideways. You switch cameras. So what I would do is record all the views at the same time along with the audio. And then when I edit it, I can have me talking, have the other person talking. I'll also use better lighting. I might even try some, makeup to cover up some of the imperfections. And I think it would be a really good interview series where we can interview various people. And this is not just a carnivore channel. I very rarely use the term carnivore, although, as you know, if I'm eating something, it's always meat or eggs or something carnivore based. But I would like it to focus sort of on the sustainability, the independent living, along with sort of teaming up. So the idea of my channel has been become independent, but be part of a community. A community of people who are debt-free and living as independent as possible is the only way that you can build a resilient community that can work in a system of constant corruption and incompetence financed by endless funny money from central bankers. When that eventually breaks down, and it will, because we have limits in terms of physical energy, food, and all that, things are going to get really bad really fast. And all the people that are dependent and desperate, they're going to be a serious threat. Those people are going to be the biggest obstacle to making progress because they will be out there trying to survive in a world that they don't understand. So it's up to us to be able to get a better understanding of how things really work and try to educate the people that we know. So when that time comes, and it will, instead of them being out there going with all the other dysfunctional people breaking everything down, we'll be out there with a sort of temporary solution and probably an eventual way of managing it. Now, ultimately, the real solution comes from above. It doesn't come from us because we don't have that power. But if we can do, at least in our own small lives, if we can avoid being sucked into the broken system, that's the best we can do. None of us are going to be able to change it because the system feeds on itself and eventually it will self-destruct, just like all systems self-destruct. All world powers, they go through their peak and they go through their failure. And if you look around, you can see, and there was actually a video somebody had made, and I don't remember which one of the YouTubers it was, talking about things just don't feel exciting anymore. Everything just feels blah. And I've been saying this for years. You know me. I talk about BWG, black, white, and gray. That is lowered expectations. That is trying to keep people from thinking independently. Versus the mid-century, what I call populux, which is space age. The whole idea of space age was interesting shapes, color, chrome, technology, making life easier and more enjoyable. That was the whole thing. And that's gone. It's been replaced by minimalism and extraction. And that's basically the way the central banking system works. So that's why everything is being turned into black, white, and gray. And that's really kind of their playbook. And the more people that understand that, and the more people refuse to participate, because again, if you try to attack them directly, you always lose. They have the system very well manipulated. They know what addicts people. They know a lot more than we do. But the thing is, we have the advantage of not blindly accepting what they tell us. And this is true even in the carnivore community. If you're in one of these closed carnivore groups where it's like an echo chamber, you're not letting in a lot of different people. You might be becoming dependent in other ways. So this is why I avoid them. If your group is pay to play, if you charge admission, you will not find me in there, period. Because that is not the place where innovation happens. Innovation takes place in open spaces, not closed. And again, if you're one of those people that just has to belong to a group, and I agree, that's a good thing. I think in many ways, you should find a group of people locally. Don't spend $30 a month to belong to a group that's conditional. Start your own. Start your own local group. You have friends. I hope you have friends. If you don't have friends, then there's a serious problem that needs to be resolved. So I would recommend trying to build local networks, because that is ultimately what is going to make you resilient. Because again, if you're depending on a system, that system will always fail. There's no way around that. So just a little bit of information from your quack, which is what I am. I'm a quack. I'm not someone that's out there going to offer you some program to make your life better. All I'm going to do is just give you some of the ideas I've had, some of the experiences I've had, and those experiences can be very valuable. All right. And Jamet says, so many lives and shorts videos. How does anyone make time for all of them? You can't. It's impossible. I just try to catch what I can. When I'm working on a mindless task, I will definitely try to listen and try to participate whenever I can. Sometimes I'm listening and I can't participate, but it's just one of those things. Okay. And I let the comments get away from me, so we're going to have to shift into overdrive and start making this stuff go. Sending your wife my love and prayers for a wonderful recovery at Michael. Yes, I think all of us, we like to see our friends here and those that are with them live the best lives possible. I'm interviewing with Dave Mack again this Sunday. Well, that's good, Angela. It's nice to see that he's still going. I wonder how much longer he'll be able to go before he runs out of carnivores, but so far there's a lot of people there. And Dave Mack's channel is what I would consider to be the main database for all the carnivore names. And again, I think some of us, I may have to do it again. I tried to make a list at one time, but if you look at his channel, there's a lot of interviews. I don't know how he does it. It's pretty amazing. I guess because he's a carnivore. That's right. Semi-retired Bob had a bone chip in his neck, causing continuing pain. It's out now. Okay. And he's feeling much better. That's great. So did he have surgery? I'm not sure. He wasn't, just to let Rick know that he was one of my favorite. Okay. 65 watching. Okay, I don't know what it is now, but thank everyone for the prayers. She is a religious person. Well, that's good. Prayers are not guaranteed to help, but they're not going to hurt. I think they actually did a scientific study, and they found that the people who received prayers healed better than the ones that didn't, even if they didn't know they were getting the prayers. So there's something to that. How did that happen? Yeah, that's a good question. If you could have 5 people for dinner, who would you have at your table? I'd have whoever of my friends were available to eat. So, whoever it happens to be at the time. If you're in the area and you want to come on down and you like eating meat, come on down. If you don't like eating meat, well, you're kind of going to have a hard time, because unless there's some fruit on the trees, that's all I got. Meat and eggs, a little bit of dairy. That's a good question. Well, when I got a decent place to live and I'm not totally broke, maybe I will invite some of the carnivore celebrities. I'm going to definitely invite Robert Kiltz over here, and all of our Floridians, maybe Pretzel Pete, if you want to come to the new place, and Chuck, Clearwater, come on down. You're one of my people here, and anybody. We're all good. God is great. I think even, what's his name? Baker, Dr. Baker. Sean Baker's moving to Florida, so he might come to my house. I don't know. Maybe when I have the total cow processing day where we take our steer and we cut it up, the steaks and all the other goodies, maybe, who knows? Or maybe we'll have a guanacon or quack, what is it? Not Quackzilla. It is Quackstock. Quackstock, where you have to chase, catch, and cook your own Muscovy duck. And I can answer that. He would have 5 Brazilian steakhouse servers at his table. Russ, always with the humor. That's right. Russ seems to think that I eat a lot of food, but I don't know if that's true or not. Anybody else that's eaten with me, you can chime in on that. Glad she's feeling well enough for thanking people. Yeah. Are you OMAD or like Rick 3 times a day? That's a good question to Sandy. And Russ speaks the truth. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. That's why he's my friend. And definitely, Russ being a Floridian, whenever I move to my new place, if you don't mind the drive, you're welcome to come on down. And when I get my new place, not only do I want to have a house, but I'm also going to have the shop. But I do want to have either 1950s style mini cottages or maybe some travel trailers where people can stay, and you won't have to worry about a motel, because wherever I live is probably going to be very far from a motel. Unless I move somewhere cheap enough, I'll just buy an old 50s motel and fix it up myself and get somebody to run it, and that's it. Remember they used to have houses? What was that movie? Psycho? The Bates Motel? Can you imagine the Rick's version of the Bates Motel? That'd be pretty good. Be like a 1950s place. You'd see the neon sign from 2 miles away. It's not the Bates Motel. It's the, I don't know, the Quack Motel or the Big Duck. You got a big old neon sign with a duck flapping its wings. That'd be funny. I'd have 12 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren. Big meal, my favorite people. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes eat 2. Hit like. There you go. Yes, he does. Russ makes me smile. Laughter, best medicine. That's why his channel is still going. We get a lot of people in there. It's very interesting. And Jonathan from Michael Pregler. There we go. That's brilliant. Lots of coffee. We got a hello back to Jonathan. I love color and will repaint. I refuse to participate in black, white, and gray. Love pastels and aquas. It's like all these crummy bathrooms they have now with the gray tile and the glass. I build my bathroom, even if I have to make it myself. I'm getting that yellow and that pink tile with the black trim. I'm going to make it 50s style. I have to find myself a sink that's got a nice light blue or green or one of those colors. I have a collection of sinks and toilets I keep just for that reason, because I am not into the black, white, and gray crap. Minimalism means maximal profit for the fat cats. We got to have the color and chrome. Color and chrome is a Rick way. You don't see any minimalism here, do you? We don't do minimalism. Yellow rose. You know, there is not a single bare wall in my house. Everything here, if it's not covered with a monitor, a mirror, bookcases, I don't have to paint the walls because I can't even see them. Even my wall that has paint on it is full of hubcaps. Look at this. I don't do minimalism, ever. And when I get my shop, a lot of that car stuff is going to end up in the shop and not in the house. Sandy Blythe was advised by Papa Carnivore and a few others not to drink decaf, so it's back to normal coffee. Okay, you must mean decaf. Russ is awesome, yes. Thanks, Rick. As always, I feel guilty if I miss a live, but lots to do. Don't feel guilty. Live your life. That's it. Dave Axe not interviewed me, but I'm a GLP-1 carnivore. Okay. Well, not yet, but you can always ask for an interview. Okay. He had it removed. Okay. Dave Axe is my favorite leprechaun. No decaf here. Caffeine's not to affect me as much as I drink a lot of that crap. Yeah, right? I can ask Dave. We go back a bit. I've been on his twice. I've been on his once, but I came back also as a parody where Dave was the vegan. I was also, every time that Bob had his birthday, he would always have Dave and me on there. So, but I think once is enough probably for him because I'm the only one that is a quack and I never went to carnivore to heal anything. I just did it because I love meat and I wanted a heart attack. He won't want me. I'm too wild. Let's start singing or something. I'm sure he'll be fine. He wants everybody. There's only so many of us out here. What title were you under at Dave Mack, please? He has a giggle flair to him. Sing away. Nothing wrong with singing. There we go. I can't remember probably my name. I'm sure you could look it up. It wouldn't be that far. Iguanacon. Yes. That was pretty funny, the Iguanacon. What's today for lunch? I'm thinking heart attack chicken. I better do that. Dave Mack is considerably younger than some of us, but had a rougher road getting here. Well, I might be one of the older ones here. I'll be 58 in a few weeks. Next month, 58. No gray hair yet, so we're doing pretty good. Now I can breathe. I can stop singing. Yeah, right? Well, that's good. See, you get better. That's it. I sing all the time, even though yeah, right? Music and singing takes me to another place. Tiny homes. Well, mine's going to be a tiny home. It'll be 900 square feet, but it's probably going to be made with more concrete than an apartment building. I want my house to be about as close to a bomb shelter as possible because I don't like... See, a normal home is very delicate and fragile, so you can't have trees growing up to it. I want a home that not only can the trees grow right next to it, but they can grow right over it. When I look at my home from the air, all I want to see is nature. I don't want to see my house. And from the ground, I don't want you to see my house. It's like here until you get close to it. Because I can look out the window. I can see you, but you can't see me. But I know you're there. And when you're walking on those leaves and twigs, I know exactly where you are. So if you're my friend, I can welcome you. And if you're not my friend, well, I have some very small lead presents that I would be happy to give to you if you're not my friend. Single for the soul. And your wife must love hearing you sing. Jonathan likes hearing me sing. There you go. 70 at the time. Not bad. Just woke up. Work of these 12-hour days. Needed the rest. Feeling great. Well, Jerry, I'm glad you're here. And I know you probably have a live at 1, but I'm not going to be watching it because Jonathan is in a live at 1. And we don't catch him every time in a live. Also with his awesome Dan, our up-and-coming carnivore guy. So it would be called the Duck Inn. There you go. Talking about a motel if I had a motel. But you know that if I had a motel, it'll be just like going back to the 50s. And I'll even track down those little, those little magic fingers vibrators you put in the bed. I'll have to track those down or I'll get somebody to make them. I'll put one in every room. And you know that in every room in my motel, there's going to be a phone. It won't be a rotary unless I can find enough of them. But they still make those 2500 style push button phones. So we'll have a phone with a real bell. There we go. Snacking on a piece of meat. Still here. Took a nap. You were still playing. Also from my dad's surgery. Duck Motel. My favorite song to sing is Creep. I have my own version of Sunday Will Never Be the Same called You're Gonna Have a Heart Attack. One of these days I have to sing it, but YouTube is funny about melodies, so I don't know. Duck Inn, yeah. And you know, I used to make neon art and neon signs. So if I did own a motel or business, if I had a bowling alley, I would do it myself. Build a big sheet metal backing and get the glass tubing and make my own sign. It would be exactly like the 1950s. Of course, I'd have to get somebody to make all the ceiling tiles because I don't have enough of the old ones, and I've made new ones myself, but the entire building would have to look exactly like the 50s because I think that was the best time that we had. I don't like the crap they have now. It's just cheap garbage. I'm still here listening, driving to North Carolina now. Nice. Glad that you're listening. Good choice. Can't have singing big band swing tunes. Oh, yes. I love big band. You know, Pennsylvania 6-5000. Do. All right. Hey, Jeanette. Rick, yes, color chrome. And don't forget neon lights. Well, you know, that's what I got here. Neon is something I used to do, and I'd like to do it again. I built my bombarder transformer out of a utility transformer. As an electrical engineer, it kind of goes along with the art of neon. Today, everything's LED. You see a lot of people, they have their little fake neon in the back with the name of their channel. But when I do neon, you look at my bedroom, you'll see the real deal is up there along. I got neon around the house. High voltage, old style. And can you believe I built those neon tubes in 1986? I use them every single night before I go to bed to wind down, and they still work. So 40 years, it still works. And that transformer was used. It came out of the movie theater on Miller Road when they took the sign down. And I built those tubes. And it's still good. And if they ever go bad, and I'm set up for it, I can easily redo them. The tubing can be reused. This is the thing. A neon sign can be repaired even if it's broken. You can reattach the glass. You weld it with heat. Re-evacuate it, vacuum it out, burn it out with your transformer, put in your neon or other gas, and you're good to go. They last indefinitely with maintenance. A light bulb, an old-fashioned light bulb. I got light bulbs that are 30 years old and still work. But these LEDs, when they go bad, they're no good. Throw them in the trash. You sound just like W. Okay. Papa Carnivore is everywhere. Yes, that's true. But he still doesn't put videos on his channel. All right. It looks like I've caught up. Oh, no, I didn't. Somehow it skipped ahead and I missed a bunch of comments. Good afternoon. Dave Mack, great guest with awesome journeys. Yes, we have some good afternoons. Hope your dad is okay. I have pork belly cooking. Nice. And speaking of our excellent subscribers, it's Kurt, Meathead for Life. Burp. And you're here. I knew you'd come in sooner or later. Well, glad to have you here as always. Hi, sweetie. Pork belly. I'm back. Yes, Feeder is back. So did you go to work yet or just out there doing your thing? All right. Can we come around for pork belly leftovers? That is a good question. I don't know why this chat has gone haywire, but I'm at work. Okay, good. I'm in the state, not out of the state. Luck I born. Luck I've read. When I die, I'll be luck I dead. Well, there you go. My mother was from Dayton, Ohio, and she spent most of her life in Florida. So I know what you mean. Rick's biggest festival can be called Heart Attack Meteor. Well, having a heart attack is why I started it. And when I do have a heart attack, the vegans can have a block party. Hello to Peter and CB. Hope you boys are having a great day. Yeah. You're having an easy day at work. Russ. Meathead for life. Never had pork belly leftovers. Big band swing like Glenn Miller. I love music. That's why. Yeah. And I do listen to that stuff quite often. Good day, brother from another mother. Well, good day. Glad that you have dropped in. I guess you must be working, or maybe you're home. Okay. Big band. My grandson, Odin, is a meat-eating machine. He is 3 and much bigger than all the other kids' age. See, you eat meat, it makes you bigger. Or you could be like me and start age 15. You're still skinny, but you grow taller than anybody. I am the tallest carnivore in the entire carnivore community. And it's amazing that so many people don't know. Everybody asks, have you heard of Rick when they do an interview? They go, no. And I've been out there, and they still don't know who I am. It's crazy. I repainted my boring color 2018 Subaru Crosstrek manual trans, a lovely metallic green. Lots of compliments. People like color. Yes, they do. When I repaint my truck, it was originally white. I'm thinking about white with the center like that. That's body sculpture part being a Ford blue. I figure that'd be pretty good. There he is, my dude Rick. Buenos dias. Well, there's Dan. And we'll be watching you in a couple of hours at 1 o'clock with my friend Jonathan. So we got 2 beasts having an interview. So that's great. I will not miss that. I can tell you right now. The Duck Inn. Dan the man, yes. Glenn Miller always reminds me of a cassette tape that we played constantly when we were kids. Me and my sister would tag team my brother swinging around like Earbug dance. I'm surprised that people still know who Glenn Miller is. And, of course, you have others like Artie Shaw and what's the other one? I mean, there was a lot of big band music out there. I noticed a place near me makes neon signs. That's awesome. Getting to leave next Friday for 7-day bear hunt in northern Alberta. Can't wait. Yes. Looking forward to seeing you with Jonathan soon. Nice. Yes. Okay, let's see. Will I ever catch up? Hey, Dan. It'd be great if we could film your own hunting show and put it on here. Well, I wish that Michael Pregler would put some videos. I always check out his channel. He's only got the one picture on there. I want to see him living his life because it looks like somebody that would be very interesting to watch. But that's my opinion. I get yelled at from my family and friends because I never take enough pictures or film. Anything I always tell them, just watch it inside my brain. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I agree with that. Have to be sneaky and cook it while he's at his dad's. There we go. I love mid-century modern atomic design and art. Well, if you love that, then you're going to love my channel because I am the only one here that pushes the whole mid-century thing. You look around my house, it's like a mid-century paradise. And just wait till I move. When I move and I either get another place and fix it up or I build my own, which I'll probably do if I move to my lot, it's going to be the dream house for the single man of 1958. That's what it's going to be. I was born in 68, but I like 1958. I think that's when they reached the peak. When it comes to architecture and all that, 58 was a peak. When it comes to automobiles, I would say 1971 was the peak. Everything after 71 has been downhill. Cars got uglier. Trucks, I think their peak was somewhere in the 80s, late 80s maybe, and then they kind of leveled off, and then by the late 90s, they went downhill too. So all of our vehicles are ugly now. And what I hate the most is the crossover SUV. I think those things are the stupidest, ugliest. You know what I used to like? The station wagon. Why would you have a crossover SUV, which is the worst of both worlds? If you want an SUV, you put it on a truck frame, and that's an SUV. And then you can go off-road in the thing, great. Think of like the Chrysler Ram Charger, the Dodge Ram Charger, or think about the Ford Bronco or the Chevy Blazer. Those are SUVs. But this crossover crap, nonsense. Let's bring back the station wagon. Let's bring back the Chrysler station wagon. Or Dodge Coronet. Coronet wagon with a 440. It's just like having a Charger, except you can put your family in there. You can go nice and slow, or you can go fast. You're not going to flip over like an SUV. You're not going to go off-road with the thing. The station wagon is much better. So we need station wagons to come back. But mid-century modern, I'm a big fan of that. And that's, if I live long enough and I move, I will be recreating the ultimate 50s house. And you'll get to see it. Winter was so long. Not here. Not here. We don't get winter. Saturday off, relaxing for once. Well, you deserve it. You work too hard. You're like me. You're always working. But then again, if you're like me, you get bored when you're not working. But I'm glad that you're here and you can enjoy your time off. Okay. Sounds like a good live. I personally don't care who sees me naked. And I actually look pretty good for 68 years old. Well, let's have some videos. Now, obviously YouTube wouldn't want you naked, but let's have some videos with clothes on so we can see what you look like. I've seen that little picture you got. You look pretty good. And 68 years old is not really that old. It's about 10 years older than me. I think you're good. I've seen guys in their 70s that look good. There's a couple on YouTube. There's a guy that's 72 that looks really good. Your profile pic shows you look prime. Yeah, right? I earned those roles. Don't forget the Jimmy. Well, that's true. The GMC Jimmy, that was another. And, of course, the International Scout. Remember that thing? The rust bucket on wheels? International Scout. And Lifeline, weight pile man, although in early years I thought it was carbohydrates wrong. Yeah. Love the station wagons, especially the Woodside ones. Yes. The Pontiac station wagon. They had one that was based on the Tempest, which looked like a GTO, and it probably performed like one. The station wagon was a great way to have a family sedan that had good performance. And by the way, station wagons get better mileage than SUVs. A lot of people don't know that. So why they got rid of the station wagon, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. And kids, a lot of times you just kind of go around in the back of the station wagon. They were good. And they even had one station wagon. I don't remember if it was a Ford. It might have been. But we had one that had a separate evaporator in the back. So you had air conditioning in the front and the back. The station wagon I didn't like was Mom's Pinto wagon. When I was a kid, we used to ride around in that. As I got older, I hated that thing. It was very uncomfortable. But that's what we had. Eventually, they got Country Squire. My parents, they bought used cars when I was younger because we were a poor family. But we used to get some interesting cars. My house is from 1937. I love 1940, 1950s veneer furniture. That's right. If you get rid of the creepy white van, we will no longer be friends. Well, Russ, I got news for you. I have to have a van and a truck. And the reason is the work that I do, if I'm moving stuff, a van is the way to go. Plus, the great thing about the van, it does intimidate people. If I drive a Charger that's restored, even an old one, everyone's looking. What's that? I want to buy your car. When I drive the creepy van, people get out of my way. They're like, nope. And it's noisy, too, because it's a diesel. IH definitely good. They were good, but man, they were rust buckets. 76 Dodge Power Wagon with a 318. What a great truck that was. That's right. I had a friend. He had one of those with a 440. That was good. Safety issues. Well, station wagons are not unsafe when they're done right. International Scout X had one. Also a VW thing. My dad used to like the VW van. We wouldn't know how Rick without the white van. I'll tell you, vans are underrated. When you do service work and you move things, the van is the best vehicle you can have. They're great. And being a truck frame, you drive through water and on bad roads, that's it. No seatbelts. Well, we had seatbelts in our 1970s station wagon. Hello to Russ. I just realized Russ is the Russ you raved about the other week. Now subscribed. Can't wait to watch some of your live. Yes. The Russ you raved about all the other week. You know I'm always talking good about Russ. I never talk bad about him. Russ was the very first in the carnivore community to not only actively seek me out, but to take me out to eat and send me meat and just invite me to be co-host on his show. So Russ was the first of the carnivore supporters, and the second was Kurt, Meathead. So I go, and I definitely recognize them. I talk good about them. A creepy van. I don't think my van is creepy, but some people just don't like vans. I don't know. Remember in the 70s, vans were a big deal. They used to have those custom windows with the mushroom or the pot leaf or the bubble window. And then you had, even Dodge used to have one called the street van, which was a basic van you could customize. You put the shag rug inside and the bed. So vans were a big deal. Now when you talk about the van, it's not good. Don't do it. Joe, okay. Russ is Tuesday so fun and sings us in. That is correct. He has a great show on Tuesday night. If you have not gone to the Keto Cookout, as he calls it, that's one of the original, and I believe he was the original show that invited people in there in a group, because I don't remember seeing any of them before his show. And he used to be co-host with the very outgoing Carnivore Today, and we know who that is. He has such an incredibly bubbly personality that Russ had to hold him back. Of course, Russ jokes about that as well, but we know who that is. It was a great band, in my opinion, and has been a very, very important part of Carrie's movie that is now out, which I haven't seen yet, but maybe one day he'll send it to me. And if you don't know who that is, well, then where have you been? We know exactly who that is. Who also interviewed me and did a very good job. So if you look on Carnivore Today, you will see that he did interview me and he did an excellent job. And again, if you don't know who it is, well, somebody will mention it. I'm an acquired taste. Well, we all are, aren't we? Stop it or I'll start hitting the bottle. He always jokes about Sandy, drinking, and it's funny. The show is definitely funny. It really is. Can't wait to hear you sing, Russ. Well, you just need to, if you're up at that time, you're probably asleep because it's on late at night, but you could always watch a replay and you'll see it. Homesick Buckeye, yep. Love my Tuesdays with Russ. Our Dodge wagon didn't have seat belts in the storage part. That's true. It depends on the year that it was made. We had a Kingwood estate, and I had 6 brothers, so we needed the room. Yes. And people used to have big families back then. I miss riding my Harley, but my Xterra Pro 4X is pretty cool. It just needs a 4-point harness. There you go. If it's a rocket, don't bother knocking. That's what we're talking about, the van. Yes. I'm taking a long journey. Early Wednesday morning, I watch Russ Tuesday night live replay. Nice, nice. So nice to see Russ. Yeah, it's glad to see Russ here. I know he's usually off in dreamland, but he's here. I require Russ to sing. He knows it or I have a panic attack. That is very true. Meathead for life, yes. And Kurt is here. Sandy, yes. And Amy, the Irish floozy. Well, Amy was here earlier. She was here. We had a Chevy Astro van in the 80s. Yep. Those minivans were the first. I think those were the end of the regular vans, but I'll tell you, the Ford Club wagon or the Dodge van, the Tradesman, I think, was their work van. I forget what they call the passenger, but the Club wagon, which is what I have, was the passenger van. Mine was originally an airport shuttle. Riding in the back of the Ford truck was life back in the day. We didn't do that much here, except like on the farm. When we had farms around here, it was pretty common to ride in the back of the truck. I never liked riding in the back of the truck because it's too hot and too bumpy. Definitely acquired taste. The same thing with all of us. Me and Amy are Irish floozies, yes. Terry, yes. Meat is good even when it's cold. And I have to admit, I've eaten a lot of raw meat in my time. I'm not going to eat raw pork, but I have eaten raw beef quite often. I definitely have a taste for it. Love it. Okay. Anyway, let me see here. Okay. I enjoy all the comments. I don't think I missed any. I think out of everybody here, I might be the only one. Oh, look at that. I got a bunch of comments that just sort of popped up out of nowhere. All right. Tag team. We went to a buffet restaurant last week with my family. My cousin enjoyed 6 plates of meat and seafood. I love buffets. That was always my thing. Some music is so good it's timeless. Naked sun tanning in the middle of the forest. I love the two-tone pastel blue and white. Your truck will look awesome. Yes, I'm going to try to find a picture of that. Thanks for the shout-out, brother. Going to touch on a lot of subjects that are going to be very taboo for some. Let's hope the YouTube police doesn't find a way to incarcerate my channel. You and I are too small. We're not on their radar. Only when you get big do you have problems. Jerry, gotta love country living. I would love to be in the country. I can admit to that. I think that's where you said you are, so that's really good. I wish that you would share more details and maybe make a video, because I'm really curious about your lifestyle. And, you know, you're being, 70? You were 68, almost 70. That's pretty good. My house is Art Deco. It's my dream house. Well, there you go. See? Not everybody is falling for that black, white, and gray crap. The cheap crap that's ugly. I call it the Miami style. It's just garbage. I take the top off every summer. It was a beast. 78. The only drop on was gas mileage. You drank gas like a fat man on beer. What'd you have? The Ram Charger? What'd you have? The big block? Are you heading out to do your bike ride and talk today? I really don't know. My phone has failed. It's got too many files on it. I've been trying to empty it out. It's got some kind of error, so I haven't been able to do a video for a couple days. I have some cat videos in there I can't get out, so I got to get the USB cable and tinker around with it, see if I can do that. Had Wagyu tartar. I took wife for late Mother's Day. Also had Wagyu on Hot Stone. Was a great experience, but not on the wallet. Well, there you go. See, I don't like eating out. Yes, big block. Yeah. So you probably had the one with the 383 or the 440 in it. But I'll tell you one thing. Big blocks get a bad reputation. I have 440 in one of my Chargers. I could get up to 18 miles to the gallon on the highway. The secret is don't drive like a maniac. That's the secret. You can get up to 18 miles to the gallon with a big block if you're driving on the highway and you're going at a steady speed. The neat thing about these old cars that a lot of people don't tell you, on the highway, you get better mileage with air conditioning than without. In the city, it's the opposite. But who wants to sweat it out in the city? You know, I mean, seriously. Got to go dry my hair and wake up my husband for the morning activities. Well, Terry girl, that's great. Glad that you've been here. And you got to do what you got to do. Now, let me go over here and see how many people we have. It looks like we have 60 people watching right now. And North Dakota Carnivore, he's going to start his live. So I don't think that there are, well, we'll see here. I don't think there's any others there. Okay. Nothing has been sent to me. I don't know if you saw also that Liz had done this sort of reaction video to the talk between Robert Kiltz and Robert Saivas. So you got the two Roberts with their viewpoint. So we had that. I believe I commented on that as well. And we got some comments there, which is fine. You know, everybody has their preference. Go over here. And let me see what we have in terms of comments. Okay. Watch the stories for American Wagyu. So good. I was young and drove like a maniac, Rick. Guilty of that. I get aggravated when I'm driving. I'm a lot more aggravated when I'm driving than when I'm riding the bike. I made a video yesterday of going to Home Depot, and I had some very ugly piece of junk car going super slow. Now, I don't have a speedometer that works in my van, so I don't know exactly how fast they were going, but my judgment, it seemed to be too slow, and I almost missed the light because some lady was tinkering around with her phone, which is what they always do. And we got some humor over here from Russ. Wagyu is a Japanese word that means overpriced. There you go. See? This was Japanese A5. Okay. And basically, Wagyu is just certain cattle that are overfed. Ryan, Area 258, thank you, Rick. Have a great day. Good day, everyone. Well, thank you for being here, and I'm glad that you've contributed. Everybody that comments on my live stream is contributing to this live stream, and that's really good. Me too, drove fast. Not anymore. Until you experience it, Russ, I felt like you do until I had it. Yes. And Joe says, have fun at Brian. Well, there we go. So anyway, let's see here. The Japanese Wagyu is amazing, but I don't get it often. Okay. I don't think I've ever had it. I got used to eating the cheap stuff, and I still like the cheap stuff. I'm not really that crazy about spending a lot of money at a restaurant. I would rather spend the money on the food, put it in my own refrigerator or freezer, and eat it here at the house. I'd rather hang out with my little kitty cats than anything else. In fact, I bet my kitties are really hungry. Let me get some cat food here. What I'm going to do, let me see if I can give you another commercial here, and I'm going to get some cat food. How do I preview this? Hold on.
This is the coffee pot at work.
Aims straight to the pain.
Let Hertz put you in the driver's seat. Let Hertz take you anywhere at all.
This vacation, really let yourself go. Go Hertz Class. With a new Chevrolet or other fine car, you'll see things you've never seen before. Do things you've never done before. Hertz lets you change the pace completely. Go where you want, when you want. If you wish, take up to 20 months to pay with the new Hertz revolving credit plan. So why hold yourself back? You get a rest while Hertz does the rest.
Just let Hertz put you in the driver's seat today.
Dreyfus Fund is a mutual investment fund in which the management hopes to make your money grow and takes what it considers sensible risks in that direction. Ask your securities dealer for a free prospectus.
Okay, enough of the commercials. Let's see, do I still have sound? Yes, I do. All right. Let's see here. Whoops. I'm on. There we go. All right. Once is enough for me, yes. Cooking my eggs in duck fat. Whack, whack, whack. When are we going to eat out and have some Wagyu? There you go. Have you had the iguana Wagyu? No, but I've had the duck Wagyu. I've fattened up ducks so much that they died of a heart attack. In fact, I lost one to decay, but the other one, I saw him have the heart attack. So right after he dropped dead from the heart attack, I had him cut up, washed out, and cooking. Delicious. I love duck. The liver was basically foie gras. Ethical. It melts in your mouth like butter. Well, I prefer to chew on meat. I like tough meats with a lot of fibers in them. You didn't have a Wagyu at Kiltz's place. I don't think so. I think Kiltz got the meat from, I don't know if it was Sam's Club or if it was Costco. It was more of a shoulder type meat. I love percolators. I have an electric one. I got one of them floating around here somewhere. Same, I'm missing my brisket burgers. Yes. And they were good. You sent me some of that meat, which I made up. Very delicious. I've been slumming it with Sizzler steak for too long. Bring on the ribeye. Yes. Ribeye, but so expensive. And by the way, if you like T-bones and you have a Winn-Dixie nearby, they're $7.99 a pound at Winn-Dixie. It's a little bit high for me, but, you know, it's whatever. $13 for a tire. Yes. It's about 10 times that much now. Thanks, Rick. Jumping on North Dakota now. Well, there you go. His live stream started a few minutes ago. Wow, 50s ad. Yep. What, driving to a parade? Well, that's back before people were afraid. Like your oldie but goodie commercials. Yeah. These are so much fun. On the subway with no AI in sight. Nice. Prices on those ads amazing. A lot cheaper back then. Well, that's because of the Federal Reserve's inflation. Another reason to love Rick's channel. Well, we're old-fashioned here. Do you ever make bone broth? Yes, I have. I've made bone broth quite often. I haven't done it lately, but, you know. Kitz is more frugal than you think. Well, that's it. The thing was, it was really good. Now, when I have my quack stock or iguanacon, I want to do a complete steer breakdown. So in other words, the way I want to get my meat, I want to divorce myself completely from the food system. I don't want to go to a grocery store ever again. So what I want to do, I want to live in a place, even if I don't have it around me, but at least somewhere where I'm a short driving distance to people who raise cattle. And then what I want to do is I'll do either for money or maybe a barter. If I had connections to the right ranch, I'm sure that there's always stuff that needs to be done. Fences to maintain, equipment to fix, whatever. And we can make sort of a system where I do the work, supply products or whatever, and then we'll exchange that for a steer. So I'll be able to get my steer, get him on my trailer, take him to my house. Now, I'm going to have at least 5 acres of yard. I have trees, plants, maybe some fruit trees, whatever. There'll be some grass there. And I don't like mowing grass, so I'll have a pasture area. Plus, I'll have plenty of tropical fruit because when I get my steer, I want to make sure that he's properly fattened. So instead of using corn and grains, which are not really that common, they're expensive here in Florida, I can use sugar cane, tropical fruit, Napier grass, and all the other things. I can hit the grocery store, get the old vegetables that nobody wants to eat. Uh-oh, we have a special guest. Hello, Milton. Come here, Milton. Did you wake up? Come here, Milton. Come here. Come on, Milton. Come on. What? He's a little Milty. Come here, little squishy. Look, it's a little Milton. Oh, yes. Look at this beautiful cat specimen. He's a gorgeous black menace. Look at that face. Aw, oh, so cute. No, there's Milton. There's my Milton. Hello, Milton. Sweetie, look at that face. Look at that Milton. Look at those teeth. Kissy, 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 kissy. Kissy, kissy. love Milton. I love my Milton. He's so cute with fluffy little Milton tail. Yes. And the show is Rick and Milton. Yes. This is Milton. There's my Milton. Look at that. What a cutie. What is it, Milton? He loves being here. Look at it. You can see the tail right there. There's the tail. There's my little monster. You want to go to the window and look at Miss Kitty, your new girlfriend? Yeah. Hey, when the kittens start eating solid food, Miss Kitty, boy, Milton is, I'm amazed at how beautiful Milton is. You remember when Milton was just a little skinny little kitten that my neighbor found in the street? And look at him now. He's beautiful. What an incredible cat. And wait till I get Miss Kitty and I'm feeding her. She's going to be so beautiful, beautiful calico. And those two can hang out. Of course, I got fur in my face because I'm over there sticking my face up to Mr. Kitty Cat. But anyway, yeah. All right. These commercials are, yeah, I got a collection of them. What I'm going to start doing is putting them individually. What I want to do is to switch to the other computer. I'm still using the old computer because I hate to say it, I don't have time. I've had people, the trolls, oh, Rick doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. I'm always working. I'm always moving. I would be bored out of my mind. It's so hard to force me to sit in front of the computer and get things under control. But you know what? I got to do it. And the best thing is, now that it's hot and miserable, I like to spend more time indoors. When the weather's nice, I'm always outside. I love going outside. And even though I probably look like Herman Munster with my dark hair and thick eyebrows and, forehead, I look like Herman Munster, I still enjoy being outside. It's just one of those things I can't resist. I love being outside and my garden. I just don't understand how anybody could live in a high-rise apartment building. They're building so many of them. They're so depressing. I could not live like that. I would rather live in a trailer in the middle of a broken-down farm than live in a so-called luxury apartment, because in my opinion, there's no such thing as luxury when you're stacked and packed on top of other people. Luxury is when you can walk outside barefoot and all you see is animals and plants and all the other good stuff. You see more green on the ground, even if you don't have any green in your pocket. And Jeanette says, in all caps, Rick Channel is unique channel. That's why we love it. We don't always talk meat. A nice place to just chat, and he reads every comment. That is why I started live streaming. I was frustrated. A lot of channels don't go to every comment. I do. Milton is so cute. Yes, I agree with that. Milton is a gorgeous cat. I love my cat. Problem is, I think I pamper him too much. I'm always trying to help him. He's so cute. He's over there giving himself a kitty bath. That cat is beautiful. And those kittens are cute too. Milton, you're star of the show. Meow. Yes. Cat owes House Panther right now. He's ragged. You rang. I cook my eggs in duck fat. That's it. As long as you're not using toxic oils, you can cook your eggs in anything. All right. So, anyway. Oh, got some more cat hairs on my face. Milton, you're so cute. The other problem I have, there's lard on my hands. There's lard on my skin. So any little cat hair is going to be attracted to it. I just have a bad habit. When I eat, I eat a lot of animal fat. You know that when I'm eating meat, for example, now, here's a piece of pork. Now, I know that Dr. Kiltz always says you have to eat raw fat. But let me ask you a question. Does this fat look rendered to you? This is the kind of meat that I eat. The amount of fat that goes into the water is minimal, but the meat is thoroughly cooked to prevent any kind of parasites or bacteria. So when I eat it, I'm eating the fat and the meat. That's good. Now, oh, pretty good. Even cold like this, it's very delicious. But it's pretty hard to imagine that I'm not getting a lot of fat with all the connective tissue that goes with it. This is not rendered out. And there's a lot of it in between. You can see this pork butt. You see, you got the meat, the protein meat or whatever, and look at all the fat that's in there. See how it kind of comes apart? Good stuff. Good stuff. I think even Lurch had more build than Rick. Yeah, that's true. I look like a vegan. I'm so skinny. It's harder to read the chat in the bright sun. Yes, it is. That's nice. Listening mode activated. There we go. Money grew on trees. Mine would die. Yeah, right? Rick is mukbanging now. Yes, that is true. I'm eating. I eat all the time. If you've ever watched me, like when I do long-term live streams, I think I did that 12-hour stream. I had part of breakfast, and I definitely had lunch on camera. Milton's making cute little Milton sounds. What? He says, meow. Okay. Anyway, I have to tell people, and I get criticism once in a while. I don't get that many. What I've noticed is that because my channel is so small and insignificant, when I do get the trolls, they don't last long. I've had a few of them over the last year and a half, and they just come and go. They disappear because it's not worth it to be here. What are you going to do? You can say the same thing over and over again, but that's okay. I like chewing ice too. I like the sound. I do it all the time. Only Rick's not Korean. Well, you know what was always one of the Korean favorite meats? Is dog meat. They always had a dog meat festival. So we don't eat dogs around here. Or cats. Although, there is this sign. And I like the kind of cat they put in the picture. Black cat, not Milton. As you can see, Milton is absolutely healthy and well. Look at this guy, I'll tell you. I love watching this guy. He's entertaining. You never get bored on his channel, I'll tell you that. I also like the lack of minimalism on this channel. To me, that's important. You know what really I never understood? Why do they have these staged sets? They'll have a table. They may have 2 lamps in the background with some light going up the wall. It's kind of interesting, but I never really understood the reason for it. It seems kind of boring because if you've seen one, you've seen them all. And now with AI, it's becoming easier to make videos without actually using a real person. Milton? What? Oh. Come here. What do you want, Mr. Milton? Oh, now you're on the floor. What? It's the Black Menace. It's the Black Menace. Look at the Black Menace. All right. Oh, Milton. I think Milton's a little camera shy. There we go. All right, let's see here. Definitely not popular UHPF food. Ultra-processed food or whatever it is. And someone I haven't seen in a bit. It is George. Purple Coconuts 65. I'm not sure where the purple coconuts are from. I don't think they have coconuts over there, but I always joke about that. I was coming earlier, but Chrissy reached out from California, dragged me into her house where she started talking to the League Hopeless Ken Carnivore. Nice. Nice. I have to see that. Rick, Milton, and friends. Got to go. Thank you. Had fun and informative. Well, thank you, Jeanette, for being here. And again, you're always free to walk in and walk out. It's like a get-together. Hang out as long as you want. When you got to go, you got to go. That's it. I'm going to try to end this by noon so we can get ready for the next live stream. Thought you were at the rally. Well, there we go. Not bad. Anyway, let's see how many people we still have here. If everybody's left, or we have 54 watching. That's actually pretty good. Really good. Am I the only one that likes pork fat? I love this stuff. They say that pork is very similar to us. That's why cannibals call humans the long pig. Hopefully we don't have to start eating the rich, but then again, if they taste this good, who knows? Thanks for the heads up, George. He's the bomb. Yes. If you don't know who Lee is, this is the guy that is living proof that the carnivore diet is good for your colon. Not bad. Because he has no colon. And you know, they say that anuses are like everyone has one. Well, he's one of the few people that doesn't because they took it out. His body was so destroyed by his diet, he lost his whole intestine. Okay. Love pork fat? Yeah. While Rick was mukbanging, I did a quick community post on YouTube taking a picture of myself sunbathing this morning. Okay. Well, there you go. Hopefully YouTube likes it and doesn't scare anybody away. Of course, you could ask Russ. PHC today. Look at that. I got food falling on me. Was a white shirt. Not for long. Oh, well. That's why they invented a washing machine. Louis is there. She's an ambassador. I'm saving myself for Somerset on June 13th. Just his large intestine. Yeah. We'll call him, you know. Boom. Gone. Oh, Larry Ryan. Happy Saturday, Rick, and all the carnivores. Well, thank you for dropping in and saying hi. How are you and Laney? Tell you, drop fatty meat on your shirt, you get fat all over your shirt. Not good. Hey, we got questions about the sunbathing. Okay. Now, well, I finally finished my breakfast. It took me long enough. I got a little bit delayed, so at least I downed that, and that's delicious. And I'm already hungry for lunch, which will be in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. While I'm watching Jonathan and Dan with their interview, I'll be enjoying Heart Attack Chicken and working on the big one because I know it's coming. It's only a matter of time before I get that massive heart attack, probably while I'm out working or riding my bike. You never know. The one bad thing about YouTube, you never know who's in the chat. I don't know who's actually here. I always have to go by the comments, but what can you do? Okay, let me go back over here and let me see. All right. Let's see. All right. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Oh. Well, they're bringing up some old ones on there. This is the optimal human diet. Okay. Anybody else bringing up anything here? North Dakota Carnivore has his. Let's see how that's going. All right. Check in. It's got 10 people watching now. Who's there? Well, we got Ryan, Aaron, the carnivore guy, Terry. So we got a lot of our subscribers that are checking out. That's good. Got a lot of comments there. So I see that you are supporting his channel. Let's make sure we click like over there. He's got 11 watching. So that's great. All right. There we are. So we got that one going on right now. I like that. You know what? Let me throw a comment in there just to be the old Rick here. There we go. All right. Nice. Okay. Looks like he's having his coffee. Looking good. All right. So we got that going on. And let me go over here. Okay. Then we got this rather strange looking guy over there. I see him. Everyone has their look. And I see, oh, does it look like he has a donation link on? Let me go back over here to this. Yeah, it looks like he's got, what is that? John Together Strong. Okay. Another link on there. I think we're about the same age. He might be a year older than me. He's lost a lot of weight. And you see that John Together Strong had made that video of him, which is kind of interesting. So, and if you look in the background here, you can see I was talking about the fake neon sign. This is one of them. They're basically LED signs. They work pretty well. So that's pretty common. And Kiltz has that also in his place. It says Carnivore on Air. I think the only one that uses a real neon sign is probably Joe Rogan, because he's got lots of money and had that thing made up, but it does work quite effectively. He doesn't use a virtual background, so that's good. Anyway, let me go back over here to the original Carnivore Quack, and let's hit those comments. All right, so let's see. Oh, we got a lot of comments. Look at that. They're coming up strong. All right, so let's see. We have a hi to Sandy. Oh, me and Lainey are great. A huge haul of meat today from Ashley, the meetup caterer. Nice. He loves us carnivores. We're the best customers. That's great. Yellow Rose, right after Rick, on Saturday at 12 noon Central, I will be doing a live. Okay. Doing a catching up with friends panel chat today. So Jerry's moving hers. Okay, 12. That's good. Let's check that up. I'll be on Lobster during the late live today. It looks as though one burn day. Lots of my repeat offenders are here. Yes, that's right, Frill Grandma. We'll be there. Looking forward to it. Wait, on Saturday. YouTube is messed up big time. It is posts from a long time ago and nothing new is popping up. Kind of weird. That's what I've been seeing. Very strange. Still here. What is the channel called? Good day, my mother's brother from another mother. Yes. Just woke up mid-June, July. Okay. Early July. Okay. Looking forward to seeing you in your lovely Laner letter. Pardon the spell check. I'm talking instead of typing. Donna Ray, good stuff. And good afternoon from Yellow Rose. Hard to read the chat. So I will go back to listening mode. Maybe catch you later. Okay. Lance was in chat with Christy just before this. Okay. That makes sense. My channel is named in the middle of a forest. Found a recipe. Let me go to her channel while we're here. I cannot post a link to my channel, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So you're reading my mind over here. Okay. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Where did that scene go? There we are. So I'm going to go over here to my subscribers and my subscriptions. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Here is her channel. Let's copy the link. We'll put it right here. Where's my... Oh, come on. All right, let me go back over here to my channel and reopen this. 5 at 8 with Rick. Let me pop this in the chat. We'll do that right now. Milton? Oh, went to my room. That's what it is. There we go. And there's her channel. And let's see the live stream. There we go. Problem is, your chat is at the same time as Jonathan. So I'm not going to be able to watch you. But I'm putting it there anyway. But I'm recommending Jonathan because you got Dan and Jonathan, which are... You got Jonathan, who's sort of a pillar of the community. Dan is up and coming. So again, I hate to say it, but I can't watch your chat. If it would have been a little bit earlier, I could, but I can't. But 12 o'clock your time is 1 o'clock my time. And Jonathan always used to do the 1 o'clock. So he's sort of like has that time slot. He often did 1 o'clock lives. But anyway, there it is, in case anybody is interested in checking it out. Okay, let's go back to the comments and let's start getting this where we can wrap it up. I got a million things to do too. Okay. Jerry, there you go. Just subscribe. There you go. Hello, went to dumpster. Then on Dr. B's Zoom, had to ask a question. Okay, so somebody else goes to the dumpster. I love dumpsters. That's my favorite place to go shopping. The fur diva is licking my plate for all these words. Well, they're good at that. Cats are funny. Their little tongues get into everything. Jerry does great lives. I'm so looking forward to seeing Jerry in Michigan in September. Well, I'm glad that you're going to be able to come over here and do that. That's great. So anyway, it looks like the comments have caught up again. I don't think I missed any. Looks like I got this under control. And again, I'm glad that everyone recognizes that I am the master of the comments. Nobody else can keep up with me. Although I have, how many people do I have here? Let me just take a quick look over there. I have, looks like 53 watching, which is still pretty good. All right. Less than a month now till we get to meet. Made a dumpster run yesterday. Nice. You get some meat or fat or something like that from the old dumpster. That's great. Let's see. Let me just check the other live over here. Okay. I see that Lance is still going over there. That's great. And he's got 12 watching now. That's good. I always check him out on Sunday anyway. Thank you very much, Rick. I appreciate you always. Well, again, you're another one of our top supporters in this community. You do a lot for me, and it's a little bit that I can do is all that I can do. You know, I'm not at the point now where I can send anybody any goodies, but I will eventually once I become successful financially again, which is only a matter of time. And anyway, I just appreciate the support that I get on my channel. I'm surprised that anyone would take their time and watch me talk away on a microphone that's as old as I am in a room that's older than I am with a wild black menace that likes to come in every now and do it. And we have a return. We have John returning. I came back on for a bit more. Well, I'm glad that you have dropped in. You can catch me near the end. I tell everybody it's like a yard sale. The best time to go to a yard sale is when they're setting up and just before they take it down. That's when you get the best deals. You find something cheap at the beginning, then they go through the day and they're starting to pack up and they go, I don't want to take this junk home. Here, I'll give it to you cheap. I'll just give it to you. Every time I've had a yard sale, I use the cascading table method. I have the most expensive, which is either the $10 or $20 table. Then it goes down in increments. $10 table, $5 table, $1 table, and the free table. And as the day goes on, the stuff just moves down. And by the end of the day, if I have nothing left, I'm very happy because I'm not going to sell stuff that I want to keep. I got all kinds of crap around here I'd love to get rid of, but I don't think it has any monetary value. But people start picking out of the free table. It's better than throwing it in the dumpster or the garbage can. So free table is a great way to share the stuff you don't need that somebody else might need. And I'm amazed that I do find people that have things I need. Now, speaking of sharing, I wanted to show you a couple of goodies that I got from my friend Chuck in Clearwater. And I kind of showed a little bit of this when I was on Russ's live stream. And I think I also, I like to show these things. So let me show you what it is. Right over here. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Okay, so we got two things. One is this Pioneer stereo system. The only thing is it doesn't have a cassette. I was kind of hoping it'd have a cassette, but I guess it has, let's see, probably has a Bluetooth capability. It's a CD player. It has with AM FM tuner. So it has a CD in it. And I do have some CDs. So that's really nice. I don't think it has Bluetooth or anything like that, but it is. And it even has a remote control, which is, I don't think I've ever had a remote control in a car stereo. So this might be good for the truck because it is the 1U size. It'll fit in the opening. Although I might just keep the old cassette player if I can fix it. But that's always good to have, stereo. And this is something that definitely I was looking forward to, and that is a brand new old stock 40-channel CB. And you know me, I love having my CB in my truck, my van. I even had one in my Charger. I guess it's from watching too much Dukes of Hazzard. Breaker 19, Rusty Rick here. And so that was very nice. So eventually you'll see that in my vehicles in the future. If I ever get my truck running, there'll be something in there for sure. All right. So that was pretty good. And other than that, I got the little cutie kitties out there doing their thing. I just fed them a little bit a while ago, and when I'm done with this, I'll give them some more food. Miss Kitty has gotten smart. I think she decided, why hang out by the Bobcat all the way from the front door when we can just stay at the front door and get the food as Rick comes right out. That way he can't miss us. So I keep feeding them, which means I think that they're going to be good house cats because they do love being around the door. Oh, I'm looking at Lance's thing here. Someone put a comment, can't afford Barry's PhD course. I got to listen to this. This ought to be good. Oh, no, too late. But anyway, I criticize Dr. Barry about his so-called course. You know, to me, there's just something shady about that. I don't know. Somebody's hosting a meetup on the farm today, Rainbow Ranch Farm, so that's good. So there's a lot going on in that chat, which is a good thing. Let's see.
I hate the 2-channel thing. Can't see the other live. Oh, you know what? I don't hear anything. Oh. Tall or wide? Oh, we'll go tall.
Okay.
Regular.
Anyway, so that's looking good.
Medium,
Let me just.
There we go. How's that? Is that better? I forget that I can do that. Put it up there.
Okay. All right, let me go back over here. All right. So let's hit the comments and let's start getting ready to wrap this up. Where is my comment list? Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. So just in case somebody else wants to watch a raid on replay, it is all good. I can use a few new subscribers too, right? Yes. Check out our channel. Why not subscribe? It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us. The more subscribers we get, the more videos we can put out, the more people will see them. It's great. Are you both heading out this September? How is Lainey? Hope all went well at the hospital yesterday for her. This has gone by quickly. It usually does. That's kind of the way that it works. And John says, we love you, man. We respect and appreciate your authenticity. Well, I'm glad that you're here. Again, it's great having another Floridian here on the same team. One man's trash. Yes. Yard sale idea is great. I've always done that with the yard sales. They've been a big success. I'm going to go to Jerry's for a bit, then Jonathan's live, then replay the rest of Jerry's. Well, that's it. That's how you do it. Try to get what you can. Show and tell time. Yes, thanks to you. So I always do that. Unless somebody specifically says don't show it if it's in secret. Not even 8-track. Well, they're hard to find, but I do have some 8-track players already. So I have the 8-track player that was in my charger. I took it out before the water killed it, and it still works. I replied a bit further up. There we go. What time does she start? Everybody starts at the same time. I have a cassette and CD player in my 2002 Buick. I didn't know they had a combo like that. Same time as Jonathan. Noon to me. I agree, Rick. Yes. That makes sense. Jerry is on at 6 p.m. our time. Me and Lainey will be there. That's great. Thank you. I can catch the tail end of the show. Yes. I was in the shower. Jonathan, how about you take me for steaks on my birthday in July? Well, there you go. What could be better? Go on a date with steaks. That's something that I'll never do. What was that? Milton, was that you? I heard a very strange sound. Hopefully that was Milton. Are you on in 20 minutes? Or 80 minutes? Well, I think he's on. It's more than an hour, I know that. So anyway. So, let's give this a test over here and see. Let me look over here at North Dakota Carnivore. They got 17 right now. So, we're doing pretty good. Lance is doing good. And he's got only 370 subscribers. So, why don't we go and check out Lance's live stream and see if we can get him some more subscribers. Let's see if he can hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. That would be great. So, let's see. All right. Okay. Now, let me get on these comments and let's try to wrap this up. As we get more and more people in the carnivore community, the need for me to do giant live streams becomes less and less. So that's good. We don't want to hog up all the time. There's only so much time in the day. We all have things to do. I know I do. So let's see. Everyone who's willing should call her a blue wig day. Those things are probably going on sale. Okay, I didn't know what that was about, but I guess some kind of a trend. But anyway, all right. So what do we got going on? We have several lives if you want to watch them. But on the other hand, we can just go about our day. I have a million things to do. I need to come up with a solution to this bearing problem, although my friend hasn't called me. Now, I want to work on my truck. That's not going to happen. I have one of my customers that wants me to install a new faucet in the kitchen, so I'll probably be doing that this afternoon. I'm going to start cooking up some heart attack chicken. That's one thing. Get our bad jokes out of our systems before Christmas. So there you go. So I have a busy day ahead of me. Now, I actually appreciate having this time to do the live because instead of having to go outside and sweat it out, I can actually sit here under the air conditioner, set at 76 degrees, and enjoy a refreshing morning. And you'll notice I did not fall asleep at all. Sometimes when I don't eat enough, I start to get tired. But I had a delicious pork along with my eggs. I feel really good. 1 week, I didn't have time to eat all my breakfast, so I only ate the eggs. And by this time, I was yawning and falling asleep. But now, things are looking really good. And I'm looking forward to the heart attack chicken. And for dinner, I'm not sure what I'll have. I may have some more pork. But I've been eating a lot of pork, so what I'm going to have to start doing is adding some sauerkraut. Because if I go 4 or 5 days without any beef, my energy level is not going to be optimal. So I will be adding the sauerkraut, and I do eat the yogurt. I need to make more yogurt. That's another thing I need to do. I'm down to my last little bit. So I'm going to try to make yogurt today so I have some for next week. And so there's a lot to do. When you live by yourself, plus you got cats, there's always stuff that needs to be done. I got to go out there and play with the kittens and work outside and try to get them, used to being handled. They're actually quite social. I really don't want them too friendly with other people until they get adopted. But once they start eating solid food, I'm going to try to move them indoors, try to get them out of the outside. I got to find a way to get Miss Kitty to the cat network so they can fix her. And, it's just a matter of time. But when she's fixed and the kittens are adopted out or fixed, depending on who they go to, well, they'll all get fixed eventually. That should put an end to Miss Kitty's cat reproduction cycle. And when they don't produce kittens, they live longer. That's what I've noticed. But anyway, that's my plan for today. Now, anybody has any additional comments, feel free to make them. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and include a link so you can go to this channel and you can watch him. If you don't know who he is, you might want to check out his story. So we'll go ahead and put this in there. There we go. All right. So if you're not there already, you can do that. And let's see. Thank you for your time. I don't want to wear a blue radical Democrat wig. Well, you could be like Bell Shine, otherwise known as Dave Mack. He's got that blue wig. So, but yeah, that's kind of interesting. But anyway, I think I got I did get the last cat hair out of my nose. That's great. I'm sure it'll be a short time before Milton comes over and acts cuddly again. But I'm so happy that we've had another successful, in my opinion, successful live stream. Let me see what we got here. And let's see if this will work. I don't know. Okay, let's see where it is. Where is that song? Where is that music? Oh my goodness. I think that's it. It's there somewhere. Well, that's one of them. Doesn't matter. All right. Let's check out these comments here. And I've lost my comments. There we are. Okay. Just a visual to go with the bad jokes. There we are. And again, there is Jonathan. Don't forget that in about an hour, Jonathan and Dan will be on there. And I put a link to that earlier if you want. But it's time for my day to continue and your day to continue. And I really appreciate that you're here. And again, the more people that have lives, the shorter this will become until it may end up just being an hour a week. You never know. But we'll see. All right, so have a great weekend. Yes, from Lambs. This has been so much fun, Rick. Now I'm off to go sing. Have a lovely weekend, folks. See you on the live later. Yes. Oh, no. Find the comments. Okay. Excellent. All right. And we have 49 watching right now, which is still pretty good. But don't worry. Next week, there will be another Live at 8 with Rick, like there is every Saturday. And there's a feral grandma, Wendy. Glad you were here. Patty Erickson, hi Rick, just checking in. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Danny in Boston, great weekend all. And Sandy Blythe says, thanks Rick, Milton, Miss Kitty, and kids. And I'm sure I will see you on Russ's live stream on Tuesday, although I won't be there. I'm going to be, I'll be doing my thing. I generally don't drop in other people's live streams. It's hard enough getting time when I'm the co-host. And let's see, Terry Girl, I think it is. Thanks, Rick. I'm off the car show. Have a great Saturday, everyone. Yes, bad joke. I wish I could return girlfriends and exchange them for different ones. The way people return merchandise at Costco. Well, hey, whatever works for you. Oh, we got a bunch of comments that just popped up. Lady June, thanks, Rick. Jonathan says, take care. Rick, you have a quacktastic day for this movie. And Yellow Rose, have a great weekend. Off to do my shopping. So I will see you later. And I hope that you have an awesome day.